It's the Mixed Martial Arts Hour with
Mixed Martial Arts Hour is back in your life on this Monday, January 30th, 2023. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. Hope you had a lovely weekend. Wherever you may be, I hope you are doing well on this Monday afternoon. Pretty nice outside here in New York City. A little warmer than usual. It is blazing hot in here, though. We love to say that. We got a lot to get to on today's program. Relatively quiet weekend in the world of MMA, but always a lot going on. News, other stuff, a lot to get into. And we have a jam-packed lineup, a very fun lineup. I'm looking forward to it very much. So buckle up, my friends. Last week was fun. We ended the week on a fun note, and I'm excited for this week. There's some boxing going on in New York City on Saturday night. There's a very late UFC, late Saturday, early Sunday, 1 a.m. Eastern main card start time, because it was supposed to be in South Korea, so they catered the whole schedule to the audience over there, which honestly makes sense, and I really can't hate on that. And then, of course, the big one, Bellator's first show on CBS. The return of mixed martial arts on CBS, that's this Saturday. It's already here. It feels like it was announced a few months ago, but it's already here. It's the retirement fight for Fyodor Emelianenko against one Ryan Bader for the Bellator heavyweight title. So we shall talk about all of that and a whole lot more. I'm looking forward to it very much. As always, today's program is brought to you by our good friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook. They are the official sports betting partner of this program and the UFC. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, and please use the code THEMMAHour whenever you sign up if you're a first-time user. That lets them know we sent you, and also you get the hookup if you do that. So again, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, use the code THEMMAHour, and perhaps you are one of the many who put in the code THEMMAHour to bet on the Bungles to lose to the Chiefs. I believe it's Houday. Is it Houday that they say? I guess we found out once again that the answer to that question is everyone. Ah, yes. Great job by Travis Kelce in the post-game interview, dropping a few rockisms. First, the know your role, shut your mouth, and then jabroni on a national stage like that is pretty damn good. Pretty strong on his part. Don't really have a horse in the race as far as the Super Bowl is concerned. Have a lot of friends in the area who like the Eagles, so probably will root for them. But I'm just waiting for all of this to wrap up so we could get on to next season and eventually bring the Lombardi Trophy to Western New York. All right, what are we doing on today's program? And yes, I'm still very salty. Today's program, back into the show, we're going to be joined in studio by one of the rising stars in women's boxing. Her name is Skye Nicolson. She is from Australia. She is already 5-0, and she hasn't been a pro for a year yet. Her pro debut was last March. She fights under the Matchroom Boxing umbrella. She's going to be competing on the card this Saturday, the Amanda Serrano card. Alicia Baumgartner also on the card. This Saturday at the Hulu Theater here in New York City. She has an incredible life story. I've learned more about it over the last few days. It is very inspirational. It is somewhat heartbreaking, I should say, as well. But it's an incredible story to learn about and to follow. And a lot of people think that she could be the next face of women's boxing. And fighting in Australia has been on fire as of late. Of course, the UFC going to Perth in just a couple of weeks. Alexander Volkanovski and all the other people over there in Australia doing such great things. So I'm looking forward to having Skye Nicolson, the up-and-comer, in studio, back into the show around 3:15. Stay tuned for her story. It is a pretty wild one. Also, we shall talk at 2:45 to the reigning defending UFC welterweight champion Leon Rocky Edwards, and he returns to action on March 14th in London. He will be headlining that pay-per-view. Big spot for him. It's not in Cardiff. It's not at Principality Stadium. It's not at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's not at Wembley Stadium. It's at the O2. Ticket prices up the wazoo. I mean, I got a lot of complaints on Thursday when the tickets went on sale. A lot of people upset about the prices. A lot of people upset about how fast they went, about the range, about how expensive they were. I don't know why they're complaining to me, but I'm happy to listen to it. Anyway, that's what happens when a big pay-per-view comes to town. And obviously, a lot of people were comparing it to the fight night prices. But again, it's a pay-per-view, so it's just a different ball game. That's the bottom line. Big spot for him. We'll talk to Leon Rocky Edwards. First time I think we have him on the show, if my memory serves me correct, since the Monday that he was on after the Usman win. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. At 2:15, we'll be joined by Tyron Woodley. So we have the current champion at 170, the former champion at 170. A lot going on in his life, as always. He was just on the PFL Challenger Series show on Friday. Is he going to box KSI? What's going on over there? What happened over there? So we'll get into all of that and more. And at 145, Jorge Masvidal is going to join us. So another big player at 170 pounds. And he will join us to talk about the announcement on Friday evening, which was made by Dana White. And the announcement was April 8th, we're getting Jorge Masvidal back against Gilbert Burns, co-main event of a card headlined by Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya 2. Now, I think it should be 4, but I guess in MMA it's 2. They're running it back, and they haven't announced the location just yet. What I'm being told is the front runner is Miami, which is pretty huge for Jorge Masvidal. One could argue maybe a couple of years too late on that front, but hey, better late than never. And so we'll talk to Jorge Masvidal at 145 about all of that and some other comings and goings in his life. Always great to talk to Gamebred. I'm looking forward to that. So as you can see, a jam-packed show, a lot to get to. I just got back from San Antonio, and I was there, of course, for the Royal Rumble. I listened to all of Frank's suggestions. Thank you so much, Frank, for everything that you told me to do. It was really wonderful. Can I be honest about San Antonio?
Let's be honest.
I enjoyed my time very much. The people were very nice. Alamo Dome is cool, especially considering it's a little bit up there in age. It wasn't quite Houston or Dallas, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh, for sure. Or Austin, for that matter.
Austin is the one that I really want to go to. Now, I got to check off another list on my NBA City tour, lifetime tour, but, and very good chance I didn't go to the right places. That's for sure. But didn't really have a great meal. Wasn't really blown away. Is that mean?
That's not mean. It's accurate.
Yeah, you didn't have high hopes for it either. When I went, you were like, don't get too excited, you said, basically, right?
Yeah, if you were reading between the lines, it's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, I was very excited, and then I felt let down. But I had a great time. I had an amazing time. We did some big things over there. I got the sit down with Sami Zayn on Thursday. Spoke to The Undertaker on Friday. I can't wait for that to come out. Bailey as well did post-match stuff. It was a great time. I enjoyed it very much. And I have actually a good story or two about my time over there. But I enjoyed watching the Rumble on Saturday night with the guys because we had our Royal Rumble lottery, the first ever Royal Rumble lottery. And so I do think it is fitting right off the bat to recap who won said lottery. And anytime we talk about the Royal Rumble here on the program, we have to play our snazzy intro that GC whipped up. Without further ado. Yes.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, gents, it's in the books, and we have winners. GC, would you like to announce the winners?
Yeah, let's pull up the graphic here.
Oh, yes, let's do that.
Actually, we don't have the graphic.
Okay, we don't. What happened?
Which is my own fault.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have the proper software pulled up.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, this is, if you guys could talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, well,
Sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays.
Yeah, I will announce
Right, Frank.
that Frank had the number one pick, right? In case anyone missed it, we did the lottery with the I picked out balls for all 5 of us. So GC, New York Rick, myself, Frank, and Crypto. And we each got 6 slots, 1 through 30. And those numbers that we got were for the men's rumble and the women's rumble. And there was a lot of belly aching. Oh, it's rigged. It's not rigged. In the end, Frank wins the women's rumble because he had the first pick, which was Rhea Ripley, who lasted over an hour, incredibly so, and was the first woman to ever go 1 through 30. So congratulations to Australia's own, another Australian athlete doing big things on the combat scene. And I won the men's rumble because I had 30. Cody Rhodes comes in at 30, wins the whole darn thing. And that was very exciting. Now, we each put in $20. But then on event night, we added a new wrinkle, which was $10 more to the person who has the number associated with the wrestler who got the most eliminations. And so in the men's rumble, Frank and I were tied because he had Gunther won. I had Cody Rhodes, and so we were tied, so we have to split that. But then in the women's rumble, again, Frank wins, cleans up, because he had Rhea Ripley. Now, the best part about all of this, New York Rick, Frank didn't watch a second of any of it and was complete. We were all locked in. Frank couldn't care and was chiming in like, did I win? What's going on? It was great.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Defend yourself, Frank.
I was working. And I have to say, it was fun to be able to, work and look at my phone and see, oh, there's 30 new messages. What's going on? And then it was a mixture of...
Do you notice he's on the low end?
Yeah, do you notice the 30 is a bit of a...
At one point, it was 118.
Wow. Do you get annoyed?
Not at all. No, this is my point, if you'd let me.
Okay, sorry.
So at one point, though, you guys are talking to each other, and it's so confusing because you're like, oh, like, good job, Ariel. Oh, he's going to win. And then later on, it's like, oh, good job, Rick. He's going to win. So I had no idea who was actually winning, what was going on.
You could have pulled up the Peacock.
Yeah, I'm sure that would have made my boss happy.
Let me say two things that have me on mega tilt.
Okay.
Number one, Ariel Helwani being 2 full minutes ahead of us.
Oh.
Is that what it
things
was?
as if we're supposed to know what's going on.
Okay, well, first of all, you could have told me to stop.
I mentioned it.
Yeah, and then I stopped. And then I stopped.
Yeah. I will say there was one point where like we're getting near the end. I think it was either 29th or something, and you were like, "Oh my!"
Oh my!
And I was like, "Who's it gonna be?" And it was Ricochet.
It was my Ricochet.
No,
it was gonna be the
he
Rock.
Said, "Oh my!" He said, "Oh my," because he knows that means that he is then locked into the winner. With 29
I thought
and
you
30.
were like,
but again, to your point, you don't know that.
I'm sorry. How am I supposed to know?
Okay, so mega tilt. Number 2.
Why did you tell me to stop?
I think they did. Yeah.
Frank, who obviously didn't watch, doesn't care about this at all, gave no blood, sweat, and tears into this, comes in today and is like, "Oh, did you happen to pay yet?" Like, Frank, what, Frank?
I even asked that the
How
night
dare
of.
you?
Wow.
Well, can we
How
talk
dare
about
you?
your second, the bet you wanted to make? Also, we do have the graphic now. We worked through the technical
Thank
difficulties
you.
there.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Look at that.
Number 1 and number 30, the magic numbers.
Yeah.
Your elimination.
I didn't love. I mean, I have a lot to say. No one really wants to hear any of it, but I'll just say I didn't love that Cody was 30, if only because once we got to 29, it was obvious he was 30, and then it felt like he was going to win. I like the one spot. Feels a little too clean to have the 1 and 30 win.
If you don't know the odds, though, I feel like that's fine.
Yeah.
But because we know the odds and know that Cody is the odds-on favorite, then it eliminates the drama. But if you're just a wrestling fan who's watching this and doesn't know Cody is the betting favorite, then it might be cool that he came in 30 and wins it,
Can we talk about how I had no chance?
Yeah. No.
You see, well, here's the thing. You were lamenting that from the beginning. You were ho-humming a lot. So then I added this new wrinkle, and I said, all right, to give someone who doesn't get a Cody, because like a Gunther, right? He didn't win, but he got, I think, 5 eliminations or something like that. So it's still
you were in it with Sheamus. Sheamus was getting a lot of eliminations.
Yeah, so it still gives you an incentive. It's not the $20, but it's still the it's the $10. Yeah. So I was doing that for you guys.
Great. I mean, how you two are the only ones who benefited from anything. It's fantastic.
Which I didn't come close in that category either.
Me, Joe, and Connor just sitting there twiddling our thumbs, watching.
Admit it. It made it more fun, right?
It would have if Cody wasn't 30.
What do you mean by that? If he was 14,
then it would have been like, oh, maybe he's not going to win.
Yeah.
It eliminated all drama. It made it very boring.
Yeah, but that was only at the end, right? I mean, like he only stayed for 10 minutes.
I feel like we need like a point system.
This was the worst one to do this, knowing the betting odds, because we knew once Rhea comes out at number 1, okay, she's gonna win.
Yeah, but there was still like
Cody comes out at
going
3rd.
It was still like, oh, is Charlotte gonna win? It was still.
Charlotte wasn't even in it.
You guys were complaining.
Charlotte
yeah,
wasn't
but we
even
didn't know. We didn't know. And then there was Sammy. There was the whole thing. Don't make it seem so obvious. Sammy didn't show up, but we were like, oh, is Sammy gonna win?
The betting odds killed the drama. If I didn't know the betting odds, it would have been a lot more fun. The betting odds killed it because I knew exactly.
More fun than not having any skin in the game.
Oh yeah, I would do this again.
I would do it again.
But I also think a point system would be.
What's the point system?
I don't know. I'm still working.
Oh, okay.
Well, it could be like how long you last. That's equal to
Iron Man eliminations. Like if you win, you get like 10 points. If you come in second, you get 5.
Okay, I'm down with
You
that.
didn't voice any of this before.
No, I mean, you got to
Yeah,
watch
you didn't
it.
voice anything about who paid until you were the winner. Frank.
I even
I'm sure
asked-
if I was the one bringing home the cake, you'd be real concerned.
First
about
thing
who
I
he
asked
says-
on Saturday, hey, did you guys ever end up paying towards the pot? Just
after he
crickets.
wins, he
have to
starts
do that.
asking.
I
for
still-
the
I
money.
Because I know what's going
first.
on.
By the way, I still don't know how to pay. Who am I paying?
Oh, wow.
This is what I said.
Well, actually,
Frank,
Alex,
Frank's
can you
over
clear
here
that up for
shaking
them?
me down. He's holding a baseball bat, and I'm just like, how do I pay?
Actually, I don't really have to pay, right? Because in the end,
Oh, wow.
Well,
no,
he's
because I
saying
want
he's
20.
owed
principle.
money.
Yeah.
He's
It's
owed
the
money.
principle.
Sure. But am I right about that?
I believe after math, because Frank gets 75% of the elimination money because he had Rhea and Gunther who tied with Cody, and then you had Cody
Yes,
who
I
splits it
did.
with Gunther. So 75% and 25%. So I think it's 87.50 to Frank and 62.50 to you.
Wow.
Sounds about right, yeah.
See, I'm such a mensch. I
Not
say
bad night at the office.
keep your money, guys. You know, to me, it was all about the love of the game.
I already paid.
Frank,
Shit,
already
well,
paid.
I didn't get any money. Where's the money?
Frank
I think
needs
the
some,
escrow is waiting to release it.
Frank needs some balls. The balls doesn't pay for itself.
He certainly
he's hounded me.
But overall, it was fun. Did you guys enjoy the Mountain Dew pitch?
I
black?
actually loved that. I loved it. Rick hated it.
You hated it?
What was there to like?
I
It
don't
was
know.
Cool,
the
you
dumbest
know,
thing I've
the-
ever seen.
I will say,
Ring lit up.
I was sitting next to someone who was watching it, who had a stream up on or feed on their computer. Looked much better on TV than it did in person. In person, it was very hard to understand.
It was a bust on TV
Yeah.
too.
I'm obviously like I'm not like as into it as y'all are, but Bray Wyatt, I think he's number one for me. It's fun when he wrestles, like all the crazy like scary elements.
Now, I'm dying to ask you this: Did
You
you?
could have called it Mountain Dew, like kind of dark match.
I won't lie. I was
Not
Well,
pitch
it's
black.
called the
Kind of dark, like a little
the
bit.
product is pitch black.
I was,
Yeah, it wasn't
I was
pitch
pretty
black.
regretful that I wasn't drinking on a Mountain Dew Pitch Black while it was happening.
Actually, when I interviewed Cody Rhodes after, he was drinking. He opened it up and said
Company man right there.
I mean, that's
absolutely, but he said it was fantastic. You know, I said
I'm sure it
BS
was.
or no
I'm sure it was
BS.
unbelievable.
This was off camera too. It was off camera.
I'm sure the
Did he
drink
give
is
you
better
any
than the match. I'll tell you
flavorings?
that.
What is it, like a blackberry?
Didn't ask. We were stretched for time. I was hobnobbing with Patrick McAfee in the back. We spoke. We had it out. Still TBD on our future, but it was very nice to see him. Very, very loving.
Did you know he was going to be
big
there?
Pop for
hug.
when he showed up, man.
No, and in fact, no one knew. Even
That's
the
what I was
broadcast
gonna
team
ask.
didn't know. No, I did not know. So that was fun. I wanted to say that the end was incredible, but when I was watching it live, I was like, all right, it was kind of late. The show went way too long. I was like, all right, this is cool, but when you're watching it live in the arena, especially a massive dome, 51,000 people, you're like, what do we? All right, you could kind of see different angles. Then I went home and watched it last night on TV, and it's a completely different situation. You hear them speaking, the camera angles, it's zoomed in, the chair. So I wanted to ask you guys, and in particular GC, who's not the biggest fan, you didn't really know what was going on, so you're obviously not emotionally invested in the story. Did any of that move you? Did the Sami Zayn hitting Roman Reigns, choosing none of that, none of it? Like you just thought it was dumb.
Yeah, I was like kind of dozing off. I was just like,
man, it was
is
incredible.
this like, all right, the pop when he hit him with the chair,
Yes.
that was pretty incredible. I was like, wow, these people are really into it. And then like Twitter made me realize how much it meant to like actual wrestling fans. But for me, I was kind of starting to doze off on my couch a little bit. I was just like, this feels like this is kind of dragging on. Like when they handcuffed Kevin Owens to the ring, I was just like, it feels like this is over. I also like going into it, I was like, Roman Reigns is just going to win this. Maybe I was too hard set on like The Rock showing up.
Yeah, that was the thing. With it being last and them going with the men's rumble first, there were some big expectations, but now we know why, because of that moment. Rick, come on, you got to admit. I mean, that I thought was
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
speaking of which-
had I never gotten to check Twitter, I would have been like, man, pretty lame ending, huh?
top 10.
After the women's rumble, I fell
Top
asleep.
10. That was a
Top-
top 10 moment?
To me, of the last 10 years, it might be like top 3.
I have not been following the storyline at all, so I wasn't invested.
Here's the thing. You remember Mick Foley. You might remember like a Daniel Bryan. Like Sammy is the ultimate underdog, and him being involved in this and the route that they took where he's the one that initiated the violence first after being bullied is so brilliant, because now it's like he stood up for his friend, but then he got his ass whooped, as opposed to the predictable route, which was them just kicking him out and turning on him. He's the one that initiated, because he's like, enough is enough. It was such an amazing thing. And then to watch it with the dialogue on TV, which I obviously couldn't hear because I was up in the rafters, and then to see the camera angles, and then to see Jey Uso, one of the brothers, say, I don't want any part of this. Jey Uso was the one that didn't want Sammy in the bloodline to begin with, and now he's sticking up for him. There's so much. It was it was art.
You have
it
all
was
this
pure.
backstory.
Yes, I know. I was just so that's why I was asking you guys, as people who don't have the backstory, what did you think of it? It did nothing for you.
Didn't
All
play.
right. Can I tell you guys something? On Thursday, I got to interview Sami Zayn, and we rented an Airbnb in San Antonio. He shows up, lands, drives to the Airbnb. We started doing the interview at like 4. Then we did another thing that's going to come out. We were done by 6-ish. He left at 8:30. The guy just didn't want to leave. He was just hanging out with us, shooting the shit, talking loud. This is the hottest thing, arguably, in pro wrestling right now. Just wanted to talk and hang out. It was incredible. And found out that, we essentially like grew up 15 minutes from each other. The way he got into pro wrestling was via a radio show that was my first job in media in Montreal, CFMB 1280. I was the call screener for In the Ring in 2000. He was listening in 2001. That's how it was a crazy thing. So to talk to someone from Montreal and just shoot the shit, he was so down to earth and just so cool and chill. It was amazing considering his stature now. Obviously a guy who's been in the game for a very long time. But we talked about that. We talked about Kevin Owens, the old feud that I had. We squashed that beef. I mean, it was a lot of productive things that happened.
You squashed a beef with Kevin Owens
while
talking to Sami Zayn.
I was like, Sammy, can you put in the good word? I mean, I'm not that bad of a guy. Us Montrealers, we got to stick together. So that was good. And then the next night, Taker, who's just, what an imposing figure, that guy, comes in, sweet as can be, nice as can be, accessible as can be, and even at the end says, man, you got a lot of heat with a lot of people these days. You've been laying the smackdown. Didn't say smackdown, said something else I don't remember. But I was like, man, Taker's watching the show. This is incredible. He's a big MMA fan, of course. We know this. First time I interview him since the infamous You Want to Do It moment, October of 2010. First time in person. We obviously did a Zoom thing over the pandemic, but first time in person, pinch
So
me.
it sounds like it was a good trip.
Oh, it was a great trip. It was
I
tremendous.
know people call him Taker.
Taker, the dead man, the phenom. Tremendous. It was amazing. All of it was amazing. Now I'm very excited. We have to think of something to do for Mania in this regard. I don't know if it's like a lottery. I don't know what we can do because it's different. Is it just picks? Do we just say, because Mania is 2 nights, do we just say these are all the matches? And it's, maybe this is it. Lottery. So first pick, second pick, third. And you could pick. Okay, so my first pick is Roman Reigns is going to lose to Cody Rhodes. All right, Cody. So, and you see how many you get right based on the lottery. So you might get stuck with a tough one. And then we see how many. Obviously, I'll have some more knowledge. I mean, you could do your research.
This is the problem. You're too inside now.
But I have to say, it made me a hell of a lot more invested than I would have been if I was just watching.
Yeah, you had so much on the line, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to see, who's coming out as 17, and it's some jabron. And I'm like, all right, no chance.
Yeah. Who was number 20? I think it was Prince.
Who's number 20 or 29?
Oh no, that was
it was Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Yeah. His thing said Prince.
Yeah.
Back.
He's the man from Ireland.
Yeah.
He's good. He's a good wrestler.
What about that spot with Logan Paul and Ricochet?
Oh, that was the best. That was the best part of the whole show. That was
his head bounced on the mat pretty bad, but I mean the spot of them going up in the air. Someone,
there was a moment where I was like screaming in my living room. I was like, oh my God.
An old school wrestler, I won't say who, I mentioned that moment, and then he DM'd me and he's like, why is this the greatest moment? This is actually a very stupid moment. The whole point of the Rumble is to get your guy out, is to take less risks. What was gained from that? I'm like, all right, fine. I mean, we're getting a little too...
it was like an
He's thinking of it like a real...
Incredible.
Which, and then my response was, well, if we're going to get into the nitty gritty like this, I hate the fact that an eliminated person can eliminate an active person in the ring. That happened with one of the guys. New York Rick was very upset about Rey Mysterio. I still don't know what happened there.
About it?
I don't understand.
He didn't come out.
He just never showed up?
Yeah, he just never showed up.
Yeah, so how does that, this whole thing should be
Was
Not
the whole
counted.
thing like then his son came out and was supposedly ripping up his mask?
Imagine
Son
if there
hates
was
him,
a
yeah.
UFC fight where somebody just didn't show up and they're like, well, the other guy won. I mean, not really. They didn't even fight.
Is that real or is that
The Sun thing?
kayfabe? Yeah.
Like, do they really have heat?
Yeah.
No.
They can't.
No.
He's in-
But it's a great story, and they're probably going to wrestle each other at Mania.
Oh, okay.
Look-
What happened to number 17?
I don't know. And you know what?
What
I didn't see anyone
happened?
talking about it. Did you?
I think that was the whole thing. That's my theory. That, was
That he
the
beat
whole-
him up?
Yeah, he beat up his dad.
Oh, he beat up his dad and had the mask.
He had the
Yeah.
mask.
Oh,
That's great.
Did they say that? See, that's the other thing. I don't have the
Yeah.
commentary.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
okay.
his
So
mask,
there's your
but he was, like,
answer.
ripping.
No, that's not an answer.
He didn't show up.
He didn't show up. He still didn't come.
So
to
you're
the
saying
ring.
the match should still be going on?
It's a
It-
disqualification. In fact, I noticed this. This is for the wrestling people out there. When Cody Rhodes left the ring, he jumped over the top rope
Uh-oh.
and landed feet on the ground. He didn't climb through. He didn't roll under. He literally, and it seemed intentional, jumped over the ropes and touched the ground. So
He eliminated
therefore,
himself?
he's eliminated.
So
And the one,
Mysterio should have won?
whoever was number 17,
Wait.
Rey Mysterio or whoever replaces him, should be the rightful winner of the Royal Rumble.
Who had 17 among us?
Frank.
Frank,
Oh,
probably.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, these guys just
I'll
cleaned
take
up.
it.
Just
Yeah, I mean,
cleaning up.
Rick brings up
Wait,
a
so
good
that
point.
means that means he won both.
He
Yeah,
won.
he would have, yeah.
But yeah.
Overall, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Cody
was
Rhodes,
fun.
what a mensch that guy is. Backstage, amazing.
Yeah.
Very good speaker, emotional. I'll tell you
Pulls off
what.
the bleach blonde. Well,
Yeah, he does. Georgia guy. So you might, you know,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now I'm just an even bigger fan of Cody Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes' son.
He's like the Brandon Moreno. He like washed out a little bit, like
that's a
wasn't
great
quite the
call.
guy.
That's a great call.
Goes away,
Yes.
comes back hotter than ever, and now he's the guy. It's pretty
It
incredible.
would be fun to make comparisons. Like, who's Sami Zayn in MMA?
Well, I mean, I've seen you do this for like NBA and other things.
It doesn't
that are
work?
so bad. So I'm not even gonna get.
Like, who's
into
Sami? Who's like a lovable underdog that got over? Leon? Not the same.
No.
Oh wow,
I get what you're getting. I don't know. It's hard
It's
to think
tough.
off the top, but yeah,
Cody Rhodes really from Marietta, huh?
Yeah.
GC's got a fave now. He's
Listen,
the guy.
next 2 months are the most fun 2 months in wrestling. The
Oh,
road to
Atlanta, too?
WrestleMania.
So is Cody Rhodes my guy now?
That's your
Yeah,
guy.
Sounds like
I
it.
think it is. He's
Such a
really
nice
gonna
guy,
beat
too.
Roman Reigns?
My guy is the Miz, always and forever.
Mm.
Didn't you get the Miz?
No, he wasn't in it.
Yeah, he was for 4 seconds.
Oh, yeah, I did
Yeah,
get
you
the
got
Miz. I did
eliminated
get the
quick.
Miz. That's right. That's right. He was in it for very short. That's my guy. Challenge legend.
Okay, so that was a lot of fun. I'm happy we partook, and congratulations to Frank and I. I'd like to do something for Mania. I think it would be a lot of fun. A lot of MMA fans around the pro wrestling scene, so that's really cool to talk a little MMA with some of them. I saw TJ Wilson. TJ Wilson is married to Natalia Neidhart, former wrestler, now agent in the back, in particular with the women's side of things. Night is over. He's exhausted. He walks down. Shout out to TJ, he's the man. And then comes back and he's like, what do you think about Izzy and Pereira? Do you think Izzy has a chance? I'm like, oh, I love this. I love this. It's so great.
TJ's the man.
And so speaking of Izzy and Pereira, so on Friday, I'm about to interview Undertaker and I start seeing stuff. I don't know if it's on our text or to Twitter or something. Dana White, big announcement Friday evening. And I see speculation. Is Dana going to do this? Is he going to do that? Is Connor coming back? Is Nate coming back? Is Francis coming back? Is he resigning? Is it a power slap announcement? And it ends up being the top 2 fights for April 8th. Now, it was Izzy Pereira 2. Are we going with 2 or 4?
It's 2.
Even though it's the 4th time they compete?
It's not in the same sport.
Still feel like I have a case
Nope.
for, all right.
Nope.
And then Gilbert and Jorge. Now, he went through some other fights leading up, but we knew all of those, was yelling. Why was he yelling so much? Did you guys notice this? He was like yelling.
It's like they didn't mic him up. They were just like, bro, just let it rip.
I mean, that's his default tone. If you've ever watched those, like,
No, I haven't.
If you don't know now, you know videos. It's
I mean, F it
it's,
Fridays too.
it's just an infomercial.
So he's yelling. He's at the studio, and I have to admit, the first thing that came to mind was, oh, he heard the criticism of Leon Edwards Kamaru being a throwaway comment to the president. But then the next thing that came to mind was, oh, remember that article on Front Office Sports where they said, you know, there was some criticism about like, what does he do now? And is he truly valuable? Is it possible that someone at Endeavor is like, yo, you're the promoter. Promote. Like, get people excited. Make these fight announcements into a big deal. Like if you're, like prove to us that you need to be an important part of this whole machine. Otherwise,
Good theory.
Otherwise, what the hell was the point of all of that? Why did they do it?
I have two theories.
Okay, go ahead.
One, prior to you kind of holding their feet to the fire on the promotion element, Israel Adesanya himself said, announce my fight like a big fight.
Fair.
Remember they leaked it out and they dribbled it out in a press
That was for the
conference?
Whitaker one.
And he was just like,
The
what
rematch.
was this? Like, this needs to be better. This is his fight, and now they're doing it a little bit bigger and better. That could be one theory that I would believe, because Israel Adesanya said, nah, this ain't it. And so, hey, now it feels bigger.
So you're saying it's more of an Izzy thing than a me thing? Fair enough.
Possibly.
Okay, fair enough. I can live with that. I can live with that.
The theory I put more stock into is that this announcement was supposed to be for something else that they couldn't just bring together at the last minute.
No way. I mean, from the moment they announced it, or they announced the announcement, what was it, like 30 minutes later, 45 minutes later?
No, hour and a half.
Yeah, it was.
Delays.
Dude, it was a long time.
Could have been.
It was
done
not. If you're implying it was Conor or something, it wasn't.
maybe not Conor, just something else. Something else
At one point,
tied into it.
he like got on the UFC's Instagram page and commented and was like, "Sorry, I'm late. 2 minutes." And then it was another like 20 minutes after that.
I think that was it, to be honest.
Well, it worked. Everybody was sitting on
Yeah,
pins
there's
and
like
needles
30K
waiting
people
for it.
watching live on their YouTube channel.
It worked.
I sat on my couch for.
It wasn't 34 like the Ngannou interview, if it was 30.
But it was ultimately disappointing, in my opinion.
I mean, it was. Listen, to me, obviously, when you have a thing where it's like, oh, big announcement, you're thinking big announcement because they never do this, right?
Yep.
It's either a throwaway tweet,
Press conference.
press conference throwaway, a leak to, or I don't. Leak is not even the word. Like giving it to a favorable media outlet or something like that. It's never this. But honestly, I don't hate a world where this is the norm. Make these fights into big announcements. Make them into big deals. By the way, shout out to Izzy, who had a way better promo ready to go. Like, that was incredible.
Yeah, the Saw stuff is sick.
So, see, I didn't even know that. I just thought it was a cool promo. And then someone's like, I bet you don't know.
That's the levels that it works on. It's cool for you,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
cool for
exactly.
people who know.
It actually was very Bray Wyatt-esque, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's why I might have liked it. I mean, I'm with you. I thought it was cool. And when he made the initial announcement about both of those fights, I was like, "Ooh, like this is exciting."
That's the way they
I
should
was
all
hoping
be.
for a touch more. And I think the only thing that I really disliked about it was just like how late he showed up. Like I wish if it had just been on time, I would have been like, cool, moving on with my day.
If everything is special, nothing is special. This should not be how.
Listen,
That's also a decent point.
12 to 13 of these a year, or maybe it's 6 of them a year.
You know what I used to like when they would do those big press conferences?
Sure.
The season press conferences go big or whatever it used to be called. That makes a lot of sense to me. To tease huge announcement and then it's a title fight that they've announced just the same level title fights in inferior ways, in my opinion. It will lose validity. It will lose meaning if all of a sudden this is the norm of how they get announced. Also, I just think it's too hard, right? In order to keep this fight a secret, that's very difficult. I don't think they can do it practically for every single main event.
Which would you prefer, a misplaced billboard or the Dana White special announcement?
The last 2 announcements, if you consider the misplaced.
I think the
billboard created a ton of buzz.
Really cool.
I swear that was the UFC.
You believe that was done on purpose?
I mean, I don't know. It created so much buzz. I was excited.
It works. It works.
I mean, I don't know how you get that billboard up on the side of T-Mobile Arena for one of the biggest
By
fight
mistake.
announcements in years. Yeah, and you do it by mistake.
I will also say a little bit weird that he makes this announcement and there's no location. Like that felt a little fumbled as well.
Maybe that's
something that I was waiting on too.
something
I
to
was just
fold.
like,
And then I think it was the UFC New Zealand Australia account that tweeted Miami and then they took it down. What I'm hearing right now is Miami's the front runner. MSG was considered. Brooklyn was considered. But with Masvidal on the card, it would make sense. And I think that was appealing to Izzy and Pereira as well to go to Miami. They haven't
Gilbert
been to
Burns
Miami
as well.
Yeah, of course. They haven't been to Miami in so long for a pay-per-view. They haven't been to South Florida in a while.
I love
but
that.
Miami in particular.
I love that for a big pay-per-view.
A year late though, right? I mean, exactly a year ago, it was Covington and Jorge. That on 305 day, that should have been Miami, but better late than never on that one. So I didn't hate it. I saw a lot of people. I was trying to give them prompts. The only thing I didn't like was the yelling. Other thing is, he's late. that's a thing that you could have pre-taped and just rolled out at 5:30. Like there was no reason for that to be live.
This is why I think there was something else. Like it just doesn't make sense.
What do you think it was?
I don't know. I mean,
A lot of people wanted Conor Tough
speculating
announcement.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Also, it could have been maybe they thought they could get the Miami aspect of it wrapped up by then or something to add that as another wrinkle on top. That feels a little different and fresher than just like main and co-main. I don't know, but it just felt like if this was the plan all along, I get it, it worked, but now next time, it's a little bit of Boy Who Cried Wolf. Next time they say big special announcement, people are going to be like, okay, a title fight or a main event, you know? Like,
remember there was a period where it was a big announcement. It was like a toy deal.
yeah.
Remember that?
Again,
I mean, if
you
it was
start
Back in the day.
you start to tune it out. You start to go, I don't know.
The Conor announcement or the Conor Tough thing, the tweet that he put out or Instagram, I think it was
Yeah.
on Wednesday night. It is very real. The Conor Tough thing is real. Like that's not
Conor
BS. What's that?
Connor Tony.
I don't know about that. I would have put my money on that.
But the potential of Conor coaching Tough,
Yes, is a real thing.
just against who is TBD.
Yes, and which would lead to him returning later in this year, probably back in third quarter or so. And by the way, remember the last time and the only time that Conor coached Tough, he coached opposite Uriah Faber and didn't fight Uriah Faber in the end. So
He needs to fight the person this time.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be that. I would say if you're bringing him back, you might as well because of it's just, I've always thought that the coach thing should probably be two people. Like, then what's the point? My question is, do we care? Is this the best way to bring Conor back?
Absolutely.
I would tune in. I would 100%.
I think you would tune in for.
You tune in for the first episode.
Yes,
and then-
I was going to say two.
Uh,
I actually think Tough waters down the.
Nope.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. We haven't seen him in a while. Don't you want people to pay and be like, oh, I can't wait to see Conor back? We see him for 13 weeks on some show that no one watches. Is that worth it?
people need to be exposed to Conor McGregor again in a fighting capacity, in a capacity that's not just like salacious headlines and other things that are unrelated to combat sports. Having Conor McGregor locked into a situation where he's kind of responsible to show up to a gym, train with high caliber athletes, do that on a regular basis is only going to be good for him and is only going to be good for the rest of us.
Yeah, you just get so much Conor McGregor content
Conor
over the course
content machine.
of 13 weeks.
Yep.
I would be tuning in for sure.
Even if you're not tuning in, you're getting it on social. That's the best case scenario.
Who do you want him coaching against?
Is it can I be fantasy world or does it have to be grounded in some sort of reality?
Yeah, no fun if it's like total.
Probably Chandler.
Yeah. I would put Chandler at the top of the leaderboard right now.
I don't care about a Tony Conor fight.
Yeah, that is one thing. I want to care about the fight in the end of it, so I would take Chandler over
I would
Ferguson.
obviously take Khabib if that was on the table,
No,
but
not on the
that's
table.
not going to be on the table. So Chandler seems like the best option left.
Chandler's at the top of the leaderboard. The Tony one is too complicated, especially with the paradigm history.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. Now the question is 55 or 70?
270. Why?
Well, for Chandler. I mean, Chandler's taking that fight 55 or 70.
Just do it at 70. Why make him cut?
Yeah, McGregor's huge right now.
How many pay-per-views do you think that fight does? Over a milli.
$1 million plus. Yeah.
A lot.
Over
2, 3.
A lot.
Oh, you think wait.
No,
1.2.
One.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Sorry.
Do you think I was going to say do you think north of 0.5, 1.5?
It's possible. I think it depends to the point. Like, I think if Conor just jumps straight into a pay-per-view, I think there's going to be a lot of trepidation about which Conor McGregor is going to show up. I think there's going to be a lot of doubting. Is this guy focused? He's coming off the movie set. Like, does he even care about fighting? I think if you have him in the tough gym and he's engaged and all of a sudden people start to buy the Conor narrative again and like look at how focused he is, I think you start talking about that number for sure. I think you get close to that.
What do you think it would be if they coach stuff?
I honestly don't think it adds to it at all.
I think it adds to it big time.
No way.
People need to believe in Conor McGregor as a fighter again. He has lost a lot, in my opinion, in fans' minds in terms of when he steps back in there, what is he going to be? I think people need to see him in a fight context.
To Rick's point as well, like Conor content would be getting churned out on social media, even if you're not watching Tough. Like anything he says that's even remotely funny or something that you can clip off, like it will get clipped off and a lot of it will go viral.
Yeah, on like the ESPN or the Sports Center, Instagram and all that.
I think it would add to it.
By the way, can I suggest something? The last, what has it been, 2 since they brought it back to ESPN?
Mm-hmm.
They've been on Plus. If Conor's involved, I would put it on TV.
Yeah.
Both. You just
I think
of course, but not just Plus.
Yeah.
You make this into like a ESPN
I would try to
linear.
figure out a way to get some episodes on ABC.
I mean, imagine how many corner bugs you'd see on ESPN, like Tough, episode 2.
Conor involved, you have to maximize it. It can't just be a Plus thing,
sure.
in my opinion. Even though probably, honestly, ESPN would probably want it on Plus to a degree because it would add a ton of subs.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
think
mean?
they have such a fan base there. I don't think they need to do the exclusively on Tough thing. I think you go for maximum eyeballs. You go ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus. You maximize.
ABC, huh?
It'd be crazy.
Throw an episode on there, just one. Hey, get a taste of this. The first one, maybe.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's back. Check this out.
Could you imagine if it's like on a Wednesday night? There's no chance they put that on a Wednesday night on ABC, right? At 10 p.m.
Conor McGregor, he is essential for their business.
Sheesh.
He's still got the juice, man.
Oh, he's definitely got the juice. There's no doubt about it.
That's not it.
Oh, jeez. Pardon the pun. Michael Chandler, I think, would be a great foil.
Perfect.
Because if we are going to blow this out, he's just like the ultimate company spokesman, right? He's very much Cody Rhodes in that regard.
I just I can see it now. Conor McGregor and Chandler being very cordial at the start, and Chandler being so showing so much reverence and being so like kind and nice to him, and just like, thanks for the opportunity, we're gonna fight, and then Conor's sick of it by week 2 and just shitting all over. It'd just be perfect.
Think about how many clips still circulate from the first time Conor did it against Faber. The skate, when he calls him the skateboarder. Or whatever.
Snake in the grass.
Snake in the grass.
By the way, all could have been thrown out the window if that dude freaking wasn't careful. Jeez Louise. Who's this guy who hits Conor McGregor on a bike? And then the sequence of the clips.
Before we pivot to the bike, let me just say one thing. Conor versus Artem.
Oh, stop it.
Conor versus
honestly, that would break my heart. I don't Can I throw out a suggestion?
Ratings.
Could this be the way that we repair the relationship? Bring Artem back.
As a coach? He's suing him.
I don't think he can repair this relationship.
He's suing him. What are you talking about?
What a master stroke on Chandler's part. He brings him on his.
He brings Conor versus Artem coaching Tough would be.
Oh, I wouldn't want to see it. It would break my heart. Oh. I don't want to see that. A duo that we never thought would be at odds. What about that guy who hits him?
We are happy.
And then there's that sequence where all of a sudden Conor's in the car with the guy. Yeah. The guy looks like he's shitting in his pants. He's like, how the fuck?
I would be terrified. I would be like, what is going on right now, dude? Like, I would be a little bit worried, especially like, dude, he hit him in like the cuts and
yes,
pretty bad. Like, I would be.
I felt bad for the guy. We don't know what happened, but like you hear the audio from the video, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And then you could see Conor's a little bit frazzled. Then you could see him or hear him get a little bit upset. You could have heard me, you bleeding. Da, 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 da. And then he's in the car with him. I was like, "Oh my god, what a crazy sequence this is!"
Imagine how shook up you would be if you hit someone in a car. Period. Like you would be like that, super apologetic, and then the guy stands up and it's Conor McGregor. Like you don't know what he's gonna do, like what mood you're catching him in. I mean, what just a crazy turn of events. I mean, luckily Conor seems to be okay,
but that one shot of his buttocks, that was a gnarly gash.
Yeah.
Yes, gnarly, dude. I mean, he got hit and then flipped over the car.
Oh, is that what happened? That's what you're guessing?
I think
the bike was all messed up.
Supposedly, he said that the guy was coming from behind him and was just going full speed, and because of the sun,
oh my gosh,
and just like plowed right through him.
Fuck, that is horrible.
Yeah, I mean it's scary on both sides, obviously.
Yeah,
McGregor even more. Like you're just out biking.
Dude, imagine you hit a guy from the back and you're like, "Holy shit, what have I just done?" You get out of the car.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
and then it's McGregor standing there.
Oh my god,
insane! It's like just such an insane story. Like luckily, everything turned out fine. Like McGregor's okay. He took him home in his car. It seemed like they were cool about it. I just can't believe how like nice McGregor was about it.
Well,
bike's busted.
I mean, based on what we saw.
But I mean, it seemed like the dude They're videoing in the car. He's asking.
The guy looked terrified in the car. He's like, what is going on here? Who is filming me right now? Who is seeing this? Millions of people are seeing it right now.
I will say there's not. It's a good time for Conor McGregor's reaction to be that, right? Obviously, there's accusations levied against him at the moment. Like if we had a situation where all of a sudden now he's flying off the handle, timing not ideal to be out there. So
I'd guess he probably wouldn't have been videoing it either if he was flying off the handle.
Exactly right.
Who wins that fight? Chandler or Conor? If it is that.
That's one of the few competitive fights for Conor McGregor that I like. Like the top of the lightweight division, he's not touching those guys. At least I'm not convinced of that based on his last couple of performances.
Fireworks, though. Gotta be.
This is a fight where I think he's competitive in. Absolutely, he's competitive with Michael Chandler. I don't know who wins. But how can we... I mean, I don't know, GC, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but like I can't cap Conor McGregor right now. I really don't know like who he even is as a fighter anymore. Like
whatever the line would be, people will dump money on him and it will move in his favor.
Yeah,
for sure.
Is there a line out yet? I'm surprised one of these guys didn't throw out.
There very well might be.
The thing with Chandler's going to stand and trade with him, right?
Yes.
One suspects.
I suspect, yeah.
According to some books that have it listed, Conor McGregor minus 153, Chandler coming back plus 133.
That seems right.
Wow. Really? Off the bat, I thought maybe off the bat, Chandler would be the favorite, and then over time, people would dump money on Conor, and then
so popular, man.
Yeah.
A potential McGregor Ferguson is minus 255 McGregor plus 215 Ferguson.
I could see that.
That feels like I would be playing Conor McGregor.
Yeah, that should be -5 at least.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see what happens. I think that it will be. I think this is what they want. Look, they even talked. They talked about the Khabib Tony Tough thing. That was something that was discussed. They really want to blow out Tough. They really want to make it into a big deal again, and that's what leads me to think, oh, maybe you put it on linear television as well. In addition to Plus and all those places, the ABC thing is a really interesting one too. If they put a couple episodes, maybe the finale, something like that. I don't know, or maybe the first episode. Like
I would say first, just to try and get them
to get people into it.
Let's do it.
And then we see, you know, if it starts filming in the next month or so, that it's probably going to be in the back end, like not July 1st. Too soon for July 1st. Also, we still don't really have clarity on the whole USADA thing, right? Yep. He needs 6 months. So let's say right now it's February. It's about to be February. That's so I mean, if he entered last week, it's only mid-August, right? Or late July.
Mid-July into August.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying like maybe third quarter or so they do that. And I think that would be a huge boom for the UFC.
I mean, at this point, it's just Conor McGregor's decision, right? Like, they obviously would want it. Does Conor want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
And based on that Instagram post, he seemed pretty excited about it. So
yeah, I'm sure they love that he put that out. Who's the guy who called him up and was like, excuse me, we're not ready to announce this. Can you please put that down? Take it down, please.
I think he knows that, and I think they know that too.
Yeah, who gives a crap about that shit? All right, back into the show. We still have other things to talk about. The big face-to-face between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury that transpired on... You didn't like it, huh?
I'm just waiting till Mike Perry's fighting.
Yeah, that's true.
Just biding my time.
And I will say, and I know you can appreciate this as well. I was watching it. Obviously, I was watching Better Biev and Yard. Great fight.
Oh, what a
amazing
great
fight.
Yeah.
There was a part of me that was like, man, 2 years ago, if you would have told me that all of a sudden ESPN is devoting, 30 minutes to Jake Paul in the midst of this broadcast, when we were there, it was like, don't talk about this guy. Don't give him any attention. I was like, geez Louise, what a world, man.
Persona non grata at that time.
What a freaking world. All right, so we'll talk about that and a couple other things. For now, though, we shall talk to one of the gentlemen that we just spoke about in a matter of seconds. We're going to be joined by Jorge Masvidal, Mr. Gamebred himself. He is returning to action April 8th. We found out on Friday against Gilbert Burns. Without further ado, let us say hello to Jorge. Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal. Hey, what's happening, my brother?
Can you hear me? I still train my ass off. Whoever's next,
Mm-hmm.
If I got to do one more fight, if I got to do two more fights, however many more fights, I just want to put myself in the best possible way to win. I want to stack all the chips on my side. Been doing a lot of things to help do that. Not before I even signed a contract with anybody and stuff, because I already had all these troubles. I got 3 losses in a row, caught 3 felonies. This is all last year. Got like 3 lawsuits too. I was like, damn, it's 3-3-3. Something is wrong. I got terribly sick last year, like the worst type of sickness I've ever been in my fucking life.
What was it?
Like hospital. Man, I went from catching, what do they call that in Mexico? Montezuma's Revenge or something. It started out with something light like that, right? So it was no big deal. I got back to Miami. I had it for like 10 days. Then I got healed up. Then I went to Egypt and got what they call Pharaoh's curse over there, which is very similar to Montezuma's Revenge. So I was like, all right, fucking, I'm throwing up and fucking sharding. I can't even walk. I'm just like stuck in the bed for like 2-3 days. I'm like, this sucks. Finally get good and get back on my feet. Start moving and get back to Miami. I don't know what happens. I'm like fucked up for like another week, whatever. Like when I finally get good, a month after that, I catch E. coli. There was a E. coli outbreak in South Florida in produce and like fruits. And guess who got hit hard? Your boy right here. And that one, for like 12 days of like I was wrecked. And in that, I started investing a lot more like in my body. Like, let me find out more. Like, man, I'm stupid, man. I'm still acting like I just left the places where I used to, where I grew up. And, maybe I might not know the most science, but I'm going to hire the motherfucker that knows the most science. I'm going to get my body right. I'm going to get my body good, because if this is not 100%, how could I ever get in there and expect to be 100%? So that's something that I invested a lot. Not this year. No. I started that last year, just trying to invest in my body, not to get sick, not to have any of that shit ever happen to me. And traveling, it comes with the territory. But I've been going to Mexico since I'm like 19. And sometimes I go there like 4 or 5 times in 1 year. So for me to gotten sick, it was like, man, I just think overall my health wasn't at its best, So I can tell you this much. I feel fucking pretty decent right now. I think in like 9 weeks from now, I'm gonna be at Super Saiyan fuck somebody up mode, And I'm glad it's a guy like Gilbert, right? Because what is you rank? 3, 4, something like that?
Yeah.
I got in the sport. It's only been to fight the best of the best in the world, and he's perfect in a lot of things for me to test my grappling, because I know he's gonna come testing the grappling. I know he's gonna talk a big game, that he's gonna come strike with me and all this BMF shit. But at the end of the day, I'm game bred. He's Gilbert. He's gonna go for the takedown, 100 miles per hour, and as hard as he can, and hope that he gets in. And then if that fails, he'll come striking. So I'm gonna be prepared to grapple him and the next and the next and the next guy, because I know I got the hands to beat all these guys. I know I got the knees and elbows to fucking change lives, in seconds. I just gotta fine tune a couple things, and I've been working on it. You speak of guys like Bo and stuff like that. I work with them a lot, and just like, don't nobody need to know shit. Then he introduces me to his friends that are like fucking 3 and 4-time national champion. Now they're coming out to Miami 2, 3 weeks. They're out here. Look, don't nobody know shit. Just learning shit. Just like, all right, cool. Different way of doing this. Different way of doing that. So it's fun, bro. It's a fun journey. Even when I'm losing, I'm just like studying, doing my recon. I'm gonna come back strong. I'm gonna come back violent, and I'm gonna end my career better than how I started. Because no matter what, right now, I'm better ever in my life than where I was at when I fucking first began my journey. It's like a man. So I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful to all my sponsors. Hell yeah, let's go. I'm gonna knock this guy's fucking block off. And it's nothing personal. Like I said at the top of the show, I actually like Gilbert. Somebody tells me Gilbert's fine, I'll sit down and watch that motherfucker. My phone, I toss that shit to the side because he comes to fight. And I remember when Gilbert first got in, he was just a jiu-jitsu guy, like just fucking hugging people and just I couldn't submit. He was like nervous, and then he like started getting better. Came up to 70, started laying people out. He's a great fighter, and I think he's gonna be fucking a great fighter for a while still, even after me. But on April 8th, I'm gonna clean this clock. On April 8th, I'm gonna beat the brakes off that dude. He's gonna pull up to the drive-thru, and you know what he's gonna ask for? The same shit Leon's gonna get after I take care of Gilbert. And what happens? Maybe Leon gets another fucking foot to the face on what's his name's face, and Then I'm fighting fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm fighting Leon. This is a fucking
It's
movie
crazy.
ending. You
Crazy.
can't put this in a movie. And now all these book deals that they've been sending me and all these movies they've been sending me, hey, 10x it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Don't even talk to me. 10x that shit, motherfucker. Forget last week's deal. This is today's deal, motherfucker. I've been busting my ass knowing that this shit's in my mind, bro. Knowing like these possibilities and not just busting my ass and like, oh, I'll get on the road and just run a bunch of miles and shit like I used to when I was young, like, like overall everything, you know? Mainly my fucking health, bro. And it sucks that it took for me to get sick so many damn times for me to finally be like, man, what the fuck is wrong with me? I got money. I could pay fucking people and know what the fuck they're doing because they did it their whole life. Like, just like I could talk to you about fighting from here to the day we die because it's all I've done my whole life, you know? I got them people now, you know, checking me out and you show them good.
Any news, any announcement? What do you got? When's the next one? What do we have?
Listen, man, I got some fucking jaw-dropping news.
Oh,
Serious ass shit.
let's go.
But there's like one or two bout agreements that gotta get signed. If not today, tomorrow. So I'm coming back next Monday.
Oh,
Break down this card to you.
Oh, sick.
And I'll be the first person I break it to. And when I tell you the card, you're gonna be like, how the fuck did you pull this off? You motherfucker. You know, Miami motherfucker. How did you pull this off? And I'm just
Okay. What is it? What sport? What sport? Okay. Too much. Too many questions.
Should I say? No, should I say? Should I say the sport at least?
I mean, first, you're going to come on the show next Monday is what you're saying and break the news. Then keep it under your hat. F it.
No, but I can tell you the sport.
Okay,
right?
tell me the sport. That's what I was wondering.
It could be three different.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was asking. Bare knuckle, MMA.
Yeah. It could be just regular MMA. It could be boxing, right?
Yeah.
It's not bare knuckle.
Okay.
But it's still gonna grab headlines. Like wherever every major publicist is gonna pick these up, copy and paste, and pump them everywhere because it's. I got a couple good names. I got a who's who of MMA in boxing. In boxing, you know.
Oh, interesting.
It's gonna be heat, man. It's gonna be heat, man.
So you're not quite ready to announce, but next Monday you say you'll come on and break the news.
Yeah, because I never like to say nothing without bout agreements get signed. You know, it's a fight world and crazy shit could happen. So once these bout agreements get signed, boom, one and done. I come in this card. I'm on your show. I'm gonna break down this card, and you're gonna like it, man. Because when as I'm making these cards with my boy, I always at the end of it, I'm like, but would I pay the $49.99, the $59.99 burgers? You know, and this is one that I'm like, fuck yeah, yes. I want to find out. Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's leave it at that. A lot of exciting things going on. April 8th, you're back. Hopefully in Miami. Gilbert Burns, you're a free man.
Has to be Miami.
Yeah, I agree.
Waiting for the playoffs, man. Let's go. Has to be Miami, man.
Who did the Dolphins lose in the playoffs, by the way, too? They lost.
It was very narrow.
Yeah, it was
and
close.
You know, I met the coach at the beginning of the
he's a good guy, yeah.
Great dude, man. And fucking, he told me, he goes, man, you're going to see this team is like hungry. These guys are fucking hard workers. And we're going to go far. We're getting to the playoffs. And fuck, bro. I was just like, yeah, I'm sure. Just like every other coach has come through here the last, I don't know how many years. And bam, motherfucker, man, rocked it, bro. Fucking killed it. I think next year we're going to do bigger things. So shout out to the Dolphins, man, because those motherfuckers hungry, man. I know they're gonna come back hungry next year, man.
Shout out to you. Welcome back. Welcome back, Jorge. I'm very excited to see you back April 8th. And it's a date. Next Monday, come on and break that news, all right?
Yes, sir. Just had a good 2-hour practice. Get some proteins and all that fucking good shit in my body.
Good.
Take a little nap. Then go right back to ATT, get another 2 practice in.
Sheesh.
Get a little running at night. Just to chill out the night. And then guess what, Ariel? Guess what? This is where all the girls are gonna get pissed and send me fucked up shit on the DM and threaten my life and all this shit. Guess what I'm gonna do after that?
What?
Ariel?
What?
Fucking phone off and go to sleep.
Yes.
That's what the fuck I'm gonna do. from here to the Gilbert fight, man, because Gilbert, bro, I know you're gonna see this. It's nothing personal, bro, but I'm just trying to kill you, bro. It's nothing personal. I actually like you, bro. I'll shake your hand, give you a hug even, man. And after the fight, I'll take you to lunch maybe or something. But in that cage, I'm trying to kill you, bro. Like I'm literally putting everything I got in me to kill this individual. And I know he has that same mentality because we don't come from the same place, but we come from similar places, you know, where we didn't have a lot maybe. You know, we don't ever want to go back there, and it's just like that hunger cell in us, you know, that little bit of trauma's in us. So I want to finish him, motherfucker. I want to end you, bro. So there's no coming back. There's no you got up and you know kept fighting. So I want to end Gilbert's ass. I want to fucking murk him, you know.
Okay. That's a promo right there. They should clip that off and use it to sell the damn pay-per-view. Jorge, you're the man. I'll talk to you next week, all right?
My boy Ariel for that fucking clip.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pay me for that shit. That's right. Peace out.
I told you Monday.
There he is, Jorge Masvidal, joining us from South Florida, from his car. Looked like a nice car. I'm not really a big car connoisseur.
Best car.
You know that car?
No.
Okay. But very rare that someone says they're going to come back next Monday to break some news. So we look forward to that and looking forward to his return on April 8th. Always enjoy talking to Tyron Woodley. He's been all over the place, and I wanted to kind of try to nail down what's next for him. Where is he going? I see him here. I see him there. I see him on PFL on Friday. Let's talk to, is it the Chosen One? Is it the Realist? I'm not sure what it is. What is it now? Is it what is the nickname now, Tyron?
It's always been a Realist since the beginning, but you know, the fight name was the Chosen One because I feel like all the shit I've been through in my life that kind of set me up for MMA. Because MMA, you got to really use all that stuff. I heard Jorge right before me, shout out to my dog Game Bread, but he was talking about how they come from different places, talking about him and Gilbert Burns. Definitely a fight I'm going to watch as well. But, you know, when you come from those upbringings, a different kind of dog come out of you. And I think we've seen that out of both fighters. So for me, that's kind of why the Chosen One was my nickname, because I feel like everybody always told me I couldn't do it. Everybody always was a naysayer. And I spent a lot of time and energy trying to prove people wrong. So right now, I'm on a whole just different vibe, man. I'm just out here touching bread.
Okay, what are you doing? Because you're everywhere. I see you everywhere, but you're not fighting. At least not yet. What's going on with your fighting career? Can we start there?
Yeah, well, did Masvidal mention me fighting on this card, or do you want to wait till next Monday?
Oh shit! Don't do this. No, he didn't say anything.
Oh, he said, oh, okay. I didn't either. Then.
Okay, all right.
But anyway,
holy shit, Masvidal doing big things, huh? So you got some news too coming up?
Hey, here's I got a lot of news coming up. I'm basically doing an Autobot. I'm taking every little transformer that I've worked on in my life, and I'm linking them together for one. So I'm excited about it. I'm doing a lot of international business. Definitely still doing guest judging now, but I got some talks with the PFL for, I don't know exactly what they want to do with me, but maybe something different.
Oh.
But I'm definitely doing a guest judging. You'll see me again this weekend. Me, Randy Couture. I don't know who the entertainment portion of the panel was. But yeah, I had a ball last week. Ray Lewis is a hard person to go after and sit next to because you listening to what he's saying. He's trying to get yourself ready for what you want to say, but he kind of resonating to you as well. So shout out to Ray Lewis, one of the OGs in all sports, and somebody trying to call me one of the OGs in all sports, and me and him are linking together to do something special as well. So, so I'm doing a lot of international business, and I hate to always depend on another person for my fight future or when I'm going to fight. Like I had a contract I was negotiating with KSI, and Lil Birdie got in my ear and told me that he was going to flake out of the fight. So I hopped on a plane. I literally made the choice at 4 p.m. to hop on a plane. At 10 p.m., I went to Dubai and watched Floyd fight because I wanted to get in his face and I wanted to address on myself, because I think that's kind of childish when you're playing games with my money, right? I had a 7-figure contract I'm negotiating. I agreed to all these ridiculous terms, and I understand why he took the easier way. Going with Dylan Dennis. I mean, I knew it was supposed to be a card with me headlining against him, Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis, and then Logan's killing it, number one in that fucking WWE.
Crazy.
He fucking crazy. I just saw that last clip, and you gotta give him fucking credit because he's going crazy.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Why is people keep trying to call me? I got my phone on dinner to serve. But anyway, yeah, so he injured his MCL in the deal, so that took him out of that January fight card. And then basically what happened was it left Dylan the odd man out. So for the same money, the same DAZN contract, of course he's going to take an easier fight for the same pay. And the only problem I got with it from a standpoint of it, does it make sense? Yes, it makes a lot more sense to go out there and try to smoke somebody that's a lesser opponent. But when you walk around trying to get everybody to give you the credit as a real fighter and say you'll fight anybody anytime, you know, kind of can miss me with the bullshit. so
was it actually
now
signed?
I'm trying to put my fights in my own.
Did you actually sign it?
I got a whole contract area. I got a whole contract.
How could they do that?
I agreed upon the most ridiculous. It's their promotion.
They could just
They didn't even tell me.
They could just say we're going a different.
They didn't tell me that they didn't tell me we were going a different direction. You know who told me? You guys, internet.
What? And then what was your reaction when you saw that?
Yeah. Well, I kind of didn't want to cry over spilled milk, because one thing I got to recognize is that I got to be careful of my legacy. I can't be screaming and yelling and pouting and trying to yell to fight these guys that are coming into it from a more entertainment standpoint, right? Especially with what I've done already in my career. So I went ahead of it. I got wind that I got a gut feeling, and then when I touched in the Middle East, then I got like a little birdie in my ear that told me, hey man, they about to pull a fast one, right? So I addressed it first. I got in his face first. I made him tell me to my face, are we fighting now? You know, I'll fight anybody. So he kind of froze up a little bit, and then I put the little piece of the contract out, just enough that people see it was a real legal document, not just me saying sign the contract. I don't know whoever did that, sign the contract, because a lot of times they don't even be a fucking contract.
Right.
But I did that, and I felt like that was just enough. Who the fuck is calling me? Some kid that got my number from Jake fucking Paul is calling me right now. So I get like hundreds of calls a day. They probably see me on your show and they blowing my phone up. So
why don't you change your number?
Man, I'm OG. I ain't changing shit. I had this number since 2000.
I know, but
call me. Sometimes I answer. Sometimes we fucking laugh. Sometimes I answer. Sometimes we laugh. Sometimes because like, what are you expecting me to say? Like when you answer the phone.
Right.
Hey, I didn't expect you to answer. Well, but yeah. So in the meantime, I'm just out here setting up structure where I can control my fight destiny. I can control when I fight, where I fight, who I fight, how I fight, how much money I make to fight, and that's where it's at. And I just respect everybody that can just look at the big picture, because we get caught up into names and brands, whether it's designer clothes or whether it's 3 letters of organization, and we forget that we're prize fighters. So if I'm working in the post office and I'm sorting mail with the person right next to me, if they're making $30 an hour and I'm making 10, I need to be making $30 an hour. It's not really about money. It's about the principle. Like if you're working with somebody area and somebody's a sports journalist and they're covering the same sports you do and they're making more money than you, I already know you got a question to ask, maybe 2 or 3, and you probably feel like, hey, for what I bring to the table and value, should be making more than this person, right? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna be in control of that very, 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 in a very big way.
Okay.
The biggest thing I've ever worked on in my life.
Wow. And let me ask you regarding KSI, are you done with that because of how it went down, or do you still want that fight?
I'm like this. No, I'm like this. I never wanted to fight, and I never begged to fight. KSI asked me to fight. Jake Paul mentioned me fighting him. KSI put out a poll. I didn't put out a poll. He put out a poll with 1 million voters, and they said he should fight me. Even when Dylan Dennis came out, he never called me. Why would not the first person they called, right? So at the end of the day, it's like they say, when I say they, I can only say that about KSI, because Jake actually is fighting guys. Anderson Silva's me, Ben Askren's, and Mike Perry on backup is not a fucking, he's a better and tougher opponent than Tommy Fury, right? So he has a harder fight if Tommy doesn't show up. So you really can't ever act like he's not really fighting real people, right? But on the other side, KSI is athletic, but I think he's just a little fearful because, he can punch hard, but some people are used to being a hammer and not so much used to being a nail. He was going to be the nail in our fight, and I think him and his management staff knew that. If he wants to fight, it's going to have to be double for my trouble. In business, like if they don't White called me right now and said, Tyron, we want you to fight Leon Nevers. Tyron, we want you to fight Israel Adesanya. Something like that. I'm not going to be, oh, 3 weeks ago on this show, you said this about me. No. Let's talk the bakery because I'm trying to break bread. Bring the whole bakery. So let's talk real money, and then we can do that, and then we can fight. So I don't ever count business out. If you want to fight me, we can fight. But I did what I needed to do. I feel like for where I'm at and for my legacy, I did just enough to let people know that I was asked to fight him. I accepted the fight. It was a real contract produced. I gave my last note on the negotiation. So at that point, we're here. And then he went there. So I would fight him again, but he would have to pay me quite a bit more than what he was going to pay me the first time.
Are you done with MMA? Is this like, are you just focusing on boxing stuff now?
No. I'm not done with MMA, but can I be real with you? Fucking MMA is a lot on your body, man.
Yeah.
So I'm not finna just jump back in the MMA fight. I'm gonna be real with myself. I was calling that PFL fight. Some of these little young kids, man, they hold on, time out. Get your ass back in the gym and start back on the 101s because it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a boxing fight in an area. I think I'm going to fight in the kickboxing fight.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I kick somebody, it hit the ground. Why don't I kick people more?
Fuck.
ACL's torn, knocked Jake Shields down a couple times. I even knocked Wonderboy down when I kicked. So broke my foot on Fatsalon when I kicked him in the Kung Fu Panda belly, and I kick hard. So why wouldn't I think about that? I think that's going to gradually build me back up. So I'm going to do a boxing fight, get in great shape, continue to add kicks. And I've already been doing kickboxing. Hold on, drop my damn AirPods.
Yeah.
I already been doing kickboxing and Muay Thai. So I'm already kind of like back kicking again. And as I prepare for the Muay Thai fight, I'm going to incorporate the wrestling and grappling back in. I want to wrap up the year with MMA. I really want to fight in St. Louis. I haven't fought in St. Louis since my first Strikeforce fight.
I remember.
So I started my first Strikeforce fight in 2009 in St. Louis, Missouri, and then I think I want to touch her at the end of the year.
Is this your last year? Like, do you want your last fight ever to be in St. Louis?
Damn, that's a hard question you asking me. I don't even know. I never thought about it until you put it like that.
Really?
Storyline wise, it sounds kind of viral.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I want to tell you what I really want to tell you.
Go ahead.
But in my mind, I can be real with you. If I'm gonna be real with anybody, it's gonna be with you.
Thank you.
I feel like damn, I wasn't prepared to go here. I feel like I asked God, I said, show me this perfect fight. And he showed me this perfect fight of me walking away from the sport. And he showed me walking away on top. He showed me walking away, with like literally a bulletproof, perfect, no mistake performance. And that's the way I envisioned it. So no matter how many lessons I took along the road, how many bumps, I know I didn't feel that fight. So therefore, I know it's not time for me to hang it up, right? Then I was talking to my kids last week, and then something just came over me and it was like, you just got something that feel like is whispering to you. That fight was Darren Till.
Huh.
I had that fight.
Mm-hmm.
It was a perfect fight. The kid that was more motivated than me, he was stronger than me, he was bigger than me. He sold out the O2 Arena. Conor McGregor was just going to be, he was going to be the successor of him. Although this and that, I was thinking too much about entertainment. I was too Hollywood. I was stretched too thin. And I had 3 weeks to get ready to take on this kid. And I was looking at some videos, Dean Thomas put it up, of me training in the back, but he never said who the opponent was. They sat me next to Usman. They sat me next to Kobe. They sat me next to Masvidal. They sat me next to Till. And it was Demetrius Johnson fighting against Henry Cejudo for the second time. And I called my dog, Chris Provino. I said, come get me. I want to get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be in here. And they ain't cute to me. Like, I'll really fuck somebody up right now. I don't like that. They thought it was really cute to put everybody around me. So maybe some organic drama pop off. But some people are really built like that. So I went into the back. I went to Reebok. I said, give me a fucking fight kit right now. They didn't ask me no questions. They gave me and my coach a fight kit. Now, we were at the fight watching, right? Then I went past and I walked to like where a buffet area was at. And the lady was like, you don't have it? I said, man, with all due respect, I'm going to walk past you. There's nothing you can do to stop me. I'm going to walk past you. And I don't want to disrespect you, but I just want to let you know I'm going to walk past. And I walked past her. So we was in the back training, and we watching the video, Henry fight. Now back then, I told coach, I said, Darren Till can beat me. He can. And he believes he can beat me. That's dangerous. And if I don't train hard, he will beat me. It's not just my belt. This our belt. He's going to take our belt from us. So I said, don't ease up on me. Don't fucking take it easy on me. I said, I want you to push me. And I said that in the press conference. So I look on the screen, and Demetrius Johnson loses to Henry Cejudo. And I said, this motherfucker can lose? The best well-rounded fighter we've ever seen? Anybody can lose. And I said, I'm going ape shit. I'm going crazy. I trained 24 days straight, no breaks, twice a day. I just went nuts. And then I cut weight for the fight. And I felt like that was a fight that I envisioned. But when you fighting out of pride and you fighting out of ego and you fighting to prove everybody wrong, and then I had a period of my life where shit, I was taking out maximum from every ATM every single day. I was spending money. I was buying cars. I was on all other stuff. So it was a period of time in my life when I first started touching bread for the first time. I wasn't as responsible as I am now, right? So now it put me in a position where either it's because of ego or the way I set myself up that I had to take a couple more fights. I wasn't really there. Like, I don't like think about my resume. I beat the toughest guys. And then I lose to, no disrespect to them, but what I consider the fucking goofier guys. I lose to Luque or Gilbert or Usman or Kobe and Jake after I beat fucking Robbie and Wonder Boy twice. Everybody thought it was sweet until Wonder Boy took on Kevin Holland. You saw that fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could have been the same fight against me had I not got my ass whipped by Sage Northcutt, Avery Prowder, who's the number one sports karate fighter now, Raymond Daniels. So now it's like, the fight's got to mean something to me. It can't be money. It can't be because everybody think I can't beat them. It got to be the excitement. And that's what the Jake Paul fights was for me. KSI fight would have been that way because the way the negotiation or the contract was very disrespectful, and it made me want to just hurt him. So I told his manager, I was on the phone with his manager, and I was like, I said, never in my life have I been disrespected like this in a contract. He wanted me to fight at cruiserweight. Cruiserweight starts at 175, right? And it goes to 190. So he wanted me to fight for a cruiserweight belt. But if I weigh 174, I'd have been, was it light heavyweight or super middleweight? So he wanted me to fight. If I would have weighed 174, I would have been ineligible to fight for cruiser. If I weighed 176, they said I was going to be no 20%. I'm off the fight. So they wanted me to weigh exactly at 175, right? Then they wanted me to come in as I walk into the arena at 185. I walk around 200, 205 as of today. So every advantage they wanted. And this was terms that was added after we had already agreed. So we agreed. I got a contract. I was like, oh, I'm sorry to do this, but KSI's trainer wants to add this hydration thing and da-da-da-da. So when I went out to Dubai, I got in his trainer face too. And I said, I'm going to weigh fucking 187. Homicide. That's what I'm going to weigh. I'm not weighing a 185 and your boy going to get fucked up. Nobody want to talk. Nobody want to say nothing because they about this and I'm really about that. You know what I mean? No matter what lessons I've taken, no matter what you've seen, when I'm on, you know that I'm really a guy that'll go through your face with a fucking whole hand, elbow, kick, or whatever the hell it takes. So I just got tired of it. So I'm open to fight. I'm open to fight for pretty much anything, but I just really enjoy being the only real and true free agent in the sport. I can do what I want. I can make what I want, and nobody can tell me nothing different. Nobody's even offered me a long-term deal because I've been very vocal. I'm not signing one. But they've offered me a lot of money, which I don't understand because if you don't lock me in for multiple fights, how do you get that investment back? Even if you go crazy on a pay-per-view. But it just tells me that I ain't wrong. I'm not wrong for the way I was thinking. So
do you have your
these
next
fight?
fights
Are just,
do you have the next one set up already? Is it done?
No, I was supposed to fight KSI January 14th. When that fight went through, I wanted to I took a break and I started working on some international business. I'm locking in some stuff now. And I think with that business, my first fight is going to be produced from that. So I'm probably going to be fighting before summer starts.
Okay. And do you have an opponent yet?
Yeah. So, I got one potentially, but
Do you want to share who that is? Because I feel like
no, I don't.
the pool is
You
so
gonna
big
like
with
this
you.
fight though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's heavy duty because I can really go to any organization and compete with their top. You know what I mean? I was watching some of the PFL guys, and I'm like, that's the top guy. And I was watching some of the other organizations, the top guy in ONE FC, then the top influencer guys. You got to look at Fury, you got to look at KSI, you got to look at Logan, and some of these other guys. And I'm like, I'm looking nice on all fronts. So right now, the last I had was you producing. I can't really talk too much about.
Okay.
I hate to be like
All right.
talking
No,
in code,
it's fine.
but I have an opponent that you would really like, and you would understand why I want to fight him.
Okay.
And it's actually a legitimate fight.
Okay. And it's boxing.
I don't know yet.
Okay. Shit. Look at you. All right.
This guy I don't like. This dude I don't like very much.
Oh.
So I don't want to let him off easy with just the hand.
Oh. Okay.
I wanna feel my elbow go through his eyeball, or like I want to feel like something that kind of hurt me too. When I fought Darren Till, my elbows and my arms was hurt. I tore my CMC joint. My hand was dislocated. I hurt myself trying to hurt him. That's the kind of fight I want. So this fight, I would probably want to do MMA.
Okay. By the way, who do you think wins, Jake or Tommy?
Jake.
Really? Easy?
Yeah.
Wow. What about Jake and Nate?
His hardest fights are the ones he already had. I think I like Nate, so I won't speak on that fight.
Okay.
I like what he stands for, and if that fight comes forth, I just like seeing people that did it for low, going out there and do it for a bag. So I don't have anything to say on Nate fight. Tommy Fury is an easier fight. I was supposed to fight Tommy too.
Really?
On that Mayweather card, yeah. They didn't even hesitate to say they didn't want to fight me.
Oh.
They offered me trash money. I said, fuck, you think I'm going to do that for that amount? Then they offered me something else, and somebody else said, Tyron, just go and beat them up and use this money to boost a bigger fight afterwards. So then I came back, swallowed my pride. I said, all right, let's do it for this. Like literally, imagine if I say, okay, Ariel, I'm going to fight a fight for $10 and $10. And then you're like, well, no, right? And then you come back and say, okay, I'll do it for $9 and $9.
Oh.
If somebody say no to that, then pretty much they don't want to fight. There was no counter. It was no back to the original price. So he took the opponent that he ended up fighting, which I forgot who it was. But yeah, Tommy's not his brother. He's so opposite. His brother is like, I'm a huge fan of his brother. His brother just, he's captivating. He makes you give a fuck. He has you in. He has you, and he can sing. He can fight. He's durable. You know what I mean? He's like the people's champ, and his brother just comes off as a pretty boy that more cares about his physique, boxing for his body versus boxing to try to make a referee come in and save somebody's life.
By the way, he's
I think it's easier fight.
He's pushing for this union. He's trying to get Anderson involved. Has he asked you to help him with it? I mean, you would be a great guy. It seems like you have a good relationship. Yeah.
We talked about some other business, but we didn't talk about the union stuff. I just feel like this, like, I respect him as a businessman. I respect the things that he's doing. I mean, I never take the curtains away from somebody. Like, he's doing this thing, but the thing about it is, if you ain't ever fought for free, I fought for free for 2 or 3 years. If you ain't ever been underpaid, and every time you fought, you made max dollars, made way more than people that did it for less, I don't understand how it's such a huge issue on your docket, the pay. So I want to believe it, but it's going to take me, a little bit more convincing for me to believe it's genuine. I think it could just be going at Dana more so that and less of like actually really caring about the fighter welfare.
Okay.
So I said that to him. I said it to Nikisa. I said it like legitimately. Like I would never say, if I say one thing once, I say it twice. But I think it is, but I don't know. After a couple more months and see what the mission and agenda and what they get accomplished, then I have a better say on it. But right now, I don't know.
What do you think about what's going on with Nate leaving and Francis leaving? Like, do you think times are changing in the business of MMA, or is this just like coincidence, too isolated?
We've been talking.
Yeah?
I've been talking to everybody.
Wow.
We've all been talking.
Wow.
It's about time, because guess what? We said we want to unionize, but we're divided.
Right.
Go talk shit about him. Go talk shit about him. Fuck his couch. Fuck his couch. Press conference, right?
Right.
And then now we supposed to kumbaya and lock hands and fucking unionize? No. We taught the opposite, and that's by design. There's no unity amongst fighters. Now, when fighters make a lot of money for themselves and the organization, and they feel like when it's time to take care of them and look out for them, then they feel like they're getting shot to the wayside. Now they're more likely, when have you ever known Nate Diaz and talked to me? Or Francis Ngannou, or Luke Rockhold, or Mike Perry, or Anthony Pettis, or Jose Aldo, or Roy Nelson, or, I mean, I can keep going, but if I keep going, you're going to see what I'm up to.
Oh, shit. Okay. I like it. All right. So you got a lot of things going on.
Vitor Belfort.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's time. This is our retirement pay. This is our severance pay. This what Pooh Shiesty would say. This back in blood. They got to pay us what we was worth, and it's double for our trouble now.
Right. Okay. Well, this is exciting. By the way, for the record, and you could vouch for this, when I asked you to come on, I just wanted to like catch up. I didn't realize you had all this shit going on too. So
I know you know what's funny? I was like, damn, I like usually
this.
When you bring me on, it's something coming up. Right?
I like this.
But it's like when you ask me, I'm like, okay, Masvidal on the card, Leon Neville's on the card. Maybe they want to talk about, because I fought Gilbert. I trained with Masvidal. You know what I mean? I was supposed to fight Leon in the O2 Arena. I won O2 Arena. We coming back there.
Okay.
And then obviously I fought Kamaru Usman. There's a lot of rematch gifted out. You know, after title, a lot of rematches.
Who do you think wins that one? Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to say.
A lot of rematches.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? A lot of rematches. I mean, what do you think the criteria is if you're a defending champion to get a rematch? Like, how many title defenses do you think you should have had to get a rematch in a fight or something like that?
4, 3.
Joanna got one quick. Ronda got one quick. CJ Garbrandt got one quick.
Yeah.
Israel got one. Usman's getting one. Who else?
Off the top.
Connor probably.
DJ got one, right? With Henry.
DJ.
No, DJ left. Yeah. DJ left.
DJ left.
He left. Who wins? Who do you think wins? Who's your pick, Leon or Usman?
I don't know. The thing I like about Leon is Leon basically understands what he's good at, and that's what made it. It was a tough training camp when I got ready for him, because he knows he's not going to out-wrestle you, so he's not going to work so much on trying to go for a single leg or a double leg. Now he'll try to take you down because it's the element of surprise, but he works extremely hard on getting up and getting away. Getting up and getting away, creating space, using footwork not to let you get there. So when you have that, one thing he has right now is he has a threat of a head kick. And if you head kicking somebody, especially when you're a southpaw, kicking to that side of an unorthodox person, you can catch them slipping, and you're taking away your power kick is now stopping and hanging up his power hand. That's the right hand that he knocked out Masvidal with, right? Mm-hmm. Left hook, right hand. That's what Usman did. So Usman can never relax on that side. And you kind of need to be able to relax and let that motherfucker go sometimes. So he can kind of tie up his hand. I mean, it wasn't like a devastating, the world's been talking about Usman's right hand, like they was mine at one point in time, but that's neither here nor there. But it's the concept of, how does he win? He wins by taking you down or making you think he's taking you down and come up and punch in. And when you try to retaliate, then taking you down. Even if you don't get it, he stops you from answering the question, like, what the fuck you doing today? He should be like, I'm going outside. And he stops Leon from doing that when he tie him up and when he go for a shot. And then Usman's pretty resilient. I feel like his number one attribute is the fact that he stays so focused on MMA. Like I'm guilty of it. Many people are guilty of it. Sometimes it's some bullshit. You want to focus on some other shit. But I feel like he's really only focused on MMA. You know what I mean? And I think that's a weapon in itself. So this, once again, I believe is a very even fight. I think Usman was winning the last time, and he didn't get caught. Fucking Leon just landed. It wasn't like he didn't get caught slipping. His hand was kind of even still up. His hand wasn't like he was like trying. he like went through that motherfucker top of it. So I think very even fight. And in London, with Leon feeling a little sauce that he got the strap, I don't know. It's even more of an even fight. So I think that in the earlier rounds, 1 through 4, where we saw people thinking that Usman was winning, I think it's going to be an even fight. I think it's going to take whoever win that last round. I don't see another finish though.
Okay. Wow. Great breakdown. Great breakdown, Tyron.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
That was for free.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, you should do more of that. And you can see more of that on the PFL Challenger Series.
Tonight, this Friday. Great teases. And whenever that news comes out, please come back on and we shall talk about it. All right, my man? You already know, my man. Appreciate you.
Thanks so much. There he is. Tyron Woodley, chosen one, the realist, everything. Great stuff. Always great to check in with him. New York Rick always says one of his favorites in the history of the show, and you see why right there. We were just talking about Leon Edwards, the reigning, defending UFC welterweight champion, the pride of Birmingham, coming back to England March 18th, first title fight in England as far as UFC is concerned, of course, since Michael Bisping, Dan Henderson, they are coming back to the O2. He joins us right now via the Magic of Zoom. There he is, the man, Leon.
Hey.
Long time no speak,
bro.
my friend. How are you?
I'm good. Just finished my first session of the day, so just got back in time for the interview.
Legend. Wait, did you say first session or third session?
Third.
Shit.
it's like what time is it? Like,
I know. That's why I was like 7:50. Jeez. You do 3 a day?
Not every day. Today was 3 a day, but yeah, normally 2 a day.
When you do 3 a day, what time do you start?
I get up early, about 6.
Sheesh.
I either strength conditioning or my miles, one or the other.
Okay. And by the way, did they put in a shower yet at the gym or what? What's going on?
Yeah. We got a shower now.
Wow.
The boys upgraded. They've upgraded the gym now, so it's all good.
Fuck, the shower is a crazy thing. By the way, could you hear Tyron talking about your fight right there? And
yeah, I heard it. I heard it. It sounds like a smart man. Apart from he didn't pick me, it knows I'm going to win, but he's trying to like beat around the bush with it.
Sure.
But,
what did you think of his assessment overall? The breakdown there.
It's okay. It's okay. What he said is valid. I think I've been working he said something about wrestling or something, but I've worked my wrestling like for years. So I am confident knowing that I can go out there and wrestle with him. But the thing with Usman is that he can take you down, but he's not the best at keeping you down. So yeah, and I'm the best at getting up. So it's all good.
One thing that I think people are forgetting about when talking about this third fight, well, it's actually two things. Number one, there's no altitude in this one, right? That's not going to be a factor at all. And number two, you come off a knockout, that changes you, right? You come off getting knocked out. I mean, that changes you. So I feel like you have two big things going for you in your favor going into this fight. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. The altitude won't be a factor in it. Cool, fighting in London, right? Just about an hour away from my house, and but I don't have to travel. It's an easy drive. I can go down on a Tuesday. I don't have to leave 2-3 weeks early. My camp, I can actually finish my camp in Birmingham and go to London with my team. And as far as the knockout goes, let's see how he reacts. I'm not really banking on him being gun shy. I'm going out there to prepare for the best Usman there is, and but yeah, we'll see. Like I've seen it time and time again. That devastating knockout does change fighters. I've seen it in boxing. I've seen it in mixed martial arts, and so yeah, let's see how he reacts when I start sinking them shots towards his head. But it's going to be good.
Okay, so there's a few things I want to ask you about. The last time,
and one more point, I've never lost in the UK as well.
Oh, yeah.
Amateur or pro, I've never lost a fight in the UK, and for Usman to come to the UK. My headline show in London for the bout, I just can't see how he gets it done, But I'm excited for it, and I can't wait.
Do you know what your record is, amateur and pro in the UK?
Amateur, I went 10-0. Then pro is till I got to the UFC, So
yeah.
I don't know wherever it is.
Okay. Yeah, that is another thing that should be discussed. The last time I saw you, the last time we spoke was in Cardiff before the WWE event. And you were there and we were talking about, look at this, Principality Stadium. This is perfect. What happened? Like everything we were hearing was stadium, and not that it's bad that they're going to O2, but I was thinking stadium.
Yeah.
What happened? Why did it go from stadium to the O2?
From what I heard it's called the weather. I think they couldn't get the time frame in Cardiff. I think like a trading card got it or something. The date.
Come on,
like,
trading card? What the hell? Come
That's what I said. I didn't know it was that big.
Jeez, in that massive stadium, they're doing a trading card convention. Sheesh, that thing is massive.
Yeah, exactly. So they couldn't get the date anyway in Cardiff, and the weather was like not the best. You know, in the other stadium, it's quite cold now in the UK. And but yeah, O2 is just as good. Like I said, it's not far from me. It's a hometown show. It's my second time now selling out at O2. First, maybe to Woodley. You remember?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, they got called off the Sunday before the bout because of COVID, and now here we are.
Okay, so there was no part of you that was bummed about that. Did you really want the stadium show, or you don't care?
Yeah, 100%. Nah. I definitely wanted the stadium show, because it's just history. Like they say, it's like something that to tick off the list that I saw the biggest gate in Europe, and that was the plan. And Dana White was excited about it. The UFC was excited about it. For some reason, just couldn't get it done. And but yeah, like I said, O2 is just as good, and it'd be good.
Was there any talk once they didn't do stadium to not do UK? Was that ever on the table, or was it always going to be UK?
Nah, it was always going to be UK. I didn't hear nothing else about going nowhere else in the fight.
Did you hear? I think at one point late last year, I saw Usman's manager saying we want to come to the UK to fight Leon. I was like, you can't say that now. The plan was always UK. You can't take credit for this. Did you see that shit?
Yeah, he's I don't know what's wrong with him. He pretend like he's the fighter, Like, man, you're just the manager. Calm down. Just let the fighters fight, and you manage, sit in the background and just fucking let the guys do their thing. But he pretends like he's the fighter, He even seen a poster put over there I can't wait to come to the UK because there's a big African community in the UK and blah blah blah. That mate, you come to the UK, no one cares about African or Caribbean.
Sure.
You come to my hometown, and it's going to be a totally different atmosphere than what you think. I think this is his first time actually coming to someone's backyard. I know he did Fat Island before with Masvidal, I think. Yeah. But that's like a mutual ground. You've never been to no one's backyard, and I've fought my whole career in other people's backyard. So I am used to it. Also,
there was no one there on Fight Island. It was empty. So
exactly. So. Let's see how he reacts. Like I said, it's going to be a hard task for him. I know he's good. That's I'm not deluded. I know he's a good fighter, but I truly believe that I am better, and I'm taking the confidence from knowing that I can take him down. Knowing once I hit the mat and I'm on top, I am way better. I know that I can knock him out. So I can take all the added confidence that I had anyway into the next fight.
And by the way, was it always Usman as well? Because there was some talk about his hand, and we weren't sure. We saw pictures. Was anyone else ever thrown your way, or was it always Usman?
Nah, it was always Usman. When I heard the talks, I phoned the UFC, what's going on? They're like, nah. So it was supposed to Usman,
because you saw the stuff too, right? With his thumbs.
Yeah. So everyone was posting it, and even I was walking on the street, everyone was like, you fighting next? You should fight. The bum. I was like, nah, I ain't fighting the bum. You don't deserve it, And
wait, who's the bum?
I want to fight Usman.
Who are you talking about?
You know who the bum is. Oh. You got me on your show.
Oh, Jorge. Yes.
Yeah. I was like, nah, I can't fight him. And so yeah, it was Usman.
Okay. But by the way, yes, we did have Jorge on, and he speaks very highly of you. I mean, it seems like there's I think he wants. Gilbert, if he beats Gilbert, do you see a scenario where and then of course you win, where it finally happens this year? He feels like the path is right there. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, for sure. If he go out there and beat Gilbert, I think that's the fight to make. It's been a long time brewing, 3-4 years brewing. So let's get in there and settle it once and for all, and go from there.
But do you think he beats Gilbert?
No. To be fair, I think I don't know. I would have fucking both leads, to be honest with you. Oh shit! To be fair, Gilbert's feeling himself now. He's got like a afro. And shit.
He does. I kind of like the look. I like the look. You know?
You like it?
He's got a mini fro. I don't know. It's better. I don't know. You don't like it? You're not a fan? He's rocking the overalls. It was very 1970s. Looked like he was going on Soul Train or something.
Yeah. It was wild, but yeah, he's going. So he's feeling himself now. It's gonna be a good bout. Looking forward to it. I can just see who the best bum is.
Yes, and there's also Bilal Muhammad who's trying to get your attention too. Why do you laugh? What's so funny about
literally every day I go on social media, there's something about me that he's posting. I'm like, hey, move on with your life. It's been like fucking however long it's been.
Yes.
I just move on, you know, like if it was a close fight, I could understand like the back and forth. But literally it wasn't a close fight until the eye poke. I was literally battering him from pillar to post. And then the eye poke happened. So the way he's behaving, it's like it was a tight fight, it was close, and then the eye poke happened, and now I'm ducking him. You know, it's like, mate, just move on, go fight Colby or somebody, Hamzat or somebody, just fight to get there. That's what I had to do. Mm-hmm. No one gave me shit, you know. I got to remove out the rankings and everything. Like I took the hard way. So now I'm here. I'm not just give it a title shot because you got eye poked. Like just go carry on fighting. Earn it, then when the time come, like mine did.
I have to imagine though, when all these guys are like chirping up, trying to get your attention, there's a part of you that has to laugh, right? I mean, like now everyone is trying to take shots at you. Before they were just dismissing you. Now they're trying to do it in a different way just to get your attention so that you talk to them, so they got a thing going on Twitter. This has to be all very comical to you, no?
Yeah, 100%. That's why I keep laughing every time I talk about them, you know. Just like, it was fun to see, like I said, 3 years ago, didn't know who I was. Now I'm the king of the division, you know, like little old Leon just slid in, like I said, took it away, and now it's back in Birmingham, sitting comfortable on my table, you know, but it's all good. I'm not, like I said, I'm focused on Usman. I feel he's the hardest fight in the division. So yeah, I focus on him, get past him, then from there we'll see who's next.
By the way, where is the belt? Where do you keep it?
It's on my table. Where is it?
Where is it at? Oh, there it is, just like that? Well, you don't even have it out of the bag thing?
No, you just spread out like a lady.
But why don't you take it out of the case?
No, I don't want no dust getting on it.
Oh,
leave it like clean and undusted, man. Look after my boy.
Yeah, is that a mini belt on top of it? What is next to it over there? Did you get like a mini thing? What is in that case?
Nah, it's like a UFC gloves and someone like painted my picture on it.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's it. I would get out and show you, but I can't be honest.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So that's what you just leave it there. You don't like put it on display anywhere or anything like that in a case?
No, I'll leave it there. I'll just leave it there. When I have a coffee in the morning, I can just have a look at it, you know, and carry on about my day. I haven't got nothing special to put it yet. Okay.
Has life dramatically changed? Because, you know, like when I spoke to you, it was like a week after the fight. Has life changed a lot in the last few months for you?
Recognition-wise, 100%. He's gone from like literally flipped, you know, and financially it's changed. But apart from that, it's all the same, you know. Still the same team, still in Birmingham, still training at Renegade, and it's still good. I don't let it get to my head, you know. Like I enjoy like winning the bout, but at the same time, I know I got a lot more to do, you know. Like there's still doubt to me, you know. I'm still doubted, and I need to go down as one of the best to do it. And for me to do that, I need to stay focused and just keep chipping away.
Has it changed enough? Like when you thought of what life would be like as champion, is it like what you thought, or has it been less than what you thought, more than what you thought? You know, because I'm sure when you thought about winning the belt, you were like, oh, and all this other stuff is going to happen. My life is going to change. Has it been on par with that, or less or more?
I don't know. It's like, probably like in between.
Okay.
You know, I don't think it's like dramatically, like I can see a huge change.
Right.
I think you get that huge change over time, right? But I think from winning the bout, it's changed a lot, but not dramatically. Like, I think like, wow, like it's a total different life. You know, it's just, like I said, I still got a long way to go and a lot more I want to achieve, you know?
Obviously, this fight is a trilogy fight. Some people are inclined to call it a rematch, but we forget, 2015 you once fought. Do you feel like the legacy of the fight in August hinges on the result in March? In other words, in order to keep that moment as special as it was, it has to go your way in March as well. Like to like as you just said, some people still don't believe in you, right? Do you feel like the two are attached, or is that done and over and this is its own story? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. Some days I feel like it is, but some days I feel like it's a total different fight. You know, I did what I did in March. I'm not
In August.
You know, like what? Sorry, in August, and that moment stands as that moment for me. You know, but I do think sometimes could have stood out in me. I got to go out there and prove it again. That like, look at me now. You know, you can't keep doubting. And how much more wins do I have to do? You know, so I'm 11th, 12th win in a row. It's like, how many more do you need to be like, oh, this guy is a serious guy? You know what I mean? So for me, I feel like the doubt fuels me, it fuels my training, it fuels my mentality, it fuels everything, you know? And I feel like March will be the for me, it will be that's it, the icing on the cake for me, you know?
How often do you watch the knockout? Every day? Once when you wake up? What's
on social media.
It pops up a lot.
Tag me in it. Yeah, even that or the Dave speech, you know, one of them.
Oh my gosh!
Every day, something popped up in my social media. You know, see the speech from Dave or, the KO.
Yeah, when you see the Dave speech, do you watch the whole thing, like round 2, round 3? Do you sit there and watch? I find that I watch the whole thing all over again. Do you watch it as well?
Yeah. Not. I used to, when it first happened. I did, but not now. Now just more just like that moment before the 5th round.
Got it.
That speech, he's like, pull it out of the fire, blah blah blah, like that, like that speech, and then it goes into the head kick. You know, it's like all edited on social media.
Has Dave changed? I mean, now he's a celebrity. Has he gotten a big head?
No, he hasn't. I've been telling him to get out there a bit, you know. But he's like an old school Jamaican. Like he's like, that's your thing. Like just you do you, and that's like you enjoy your time, you know. And like, we just think for a team, for a guy like that, that's like. That's honorable, you know. So, mate, just you enjoy it. That's your time, you know. Like I came there, I care about you, and you just showed. That's all it was. They weren't planning it. It's just that's what came out when someone truly cares about you and the result, you know.
By the way, have you had a chance to go back to Jamaica?
No, I was meant to go back in December.
Yeah.
UFC just kept pushing it back because I wanted to do a charity out there. I partnered up with a foundation in Jamaica. I was meant to go back in December to a charity. I spoke to the UFC. They wanted to be involved in it, but they kept just pushing it back. Oh, Thanksgiving, you can't go then. Then no, let's do January. I was like, no, I'm not doing January. I have to go back into camp.
Right.
You know. So now we're on the way to after March to go back and show the belt off.
Okay. Like a big homecoming of sorts.
Yeah, 100%. Massive homecoming. Charity work and just chill out in Jamaica.
Are you bummed that you couldn't go after the fight?
Yeah, 100%. I wanted to go, man. That was my number one priority.
Yeah.
Go there, you know. But they literally had me going here, there, and everywhere. And,
yeah.
I didn't get to go back to Jamaica, but that's my number one on top of my list after this fight.
By the way, what's up with these haters at the BBC? I mean, how could you not win this award thing? What is that all about? What was it? The Sportsman of the Year?
Yeah. I went to the awards, right? And is it curling? When like, throw it down the ice?
Yeah.
Do that?
That's the guy who won? Sportsman of the Year?
She didn't win.
Oh,
she didn't win. Well, she was nominated.
And you weren't, right?
Like, exactly. I wasn't nominated. I was like, mate, like, what's even going on? But it is what it is. They showed like a little bit of appreciation on the screen, but apart from that.
Not even nominated?
Nominated. No. It's wild. I don't know. I think they say just because UFC is not on BBC or something, that all athletes that got nominated all athletes that nominated was on BBC or something like that, they said.
Well, screw the BBC. I'm sure you know. And I was actually wondering what was a bigger honor for you, winning the title or winning the MMA Hour Knockout of the Year award. Which one did you feel better about? I feel like it was the knockout.
It was close.
Yeah.
It was close.
You won a lot of awards that day. Knockout of the Year, Feel Good Moment of the Year, Comeback. I mean, there was a a stuff that you won. You cleaned up.
Yeah.
We don't actually have physical awards to send out. No, we're too cheap for that. It's just
I got the UFC one.
What did you win for UFC? Knockout?
Knockout of the Year and Comeback of the Year.
We need to up our
come on,
game.
Aero, man. You got enough money now.
Shit.
Trophies out.
All right, fine. I'll work on it.
Out, bro.
I'll work on it. By the way, speaking of money,
good man.
A lot of people reach out to you about these tickets. A lot of the fans were like, "Oh, expensive, this, that." Did they reach out to you? They were reaching out to me like I was going to do something about it. What can I do? I'm sure they reached out to you too.
Yeah, 100%. Like for me, like I don't understand why it's so high. Anyway, I think the ringside before it went on sale was like £4,000, I think, or dollars. One or the other, and that's a lot of money. I was like, shit, but. Like it'd be worth it if the fighters get paid more.
That's true. That's true.
You'll just go back to the UFC anyway. Like people messaging me just saying, well, "Why is it so expensive?" Like, mate, I'm not making the prices. I'm just turning up, competing, and going home. Like I don't make the prices of the event. But it's not good for the fans that can't afford it. But it's gonna be a good show either way.
By the way, did you watch the Royal Rumble this weekend?
Nah, I missed it.
It's late because I know you're a big fan. I didn't realize you were such a big fan, Leon. When I saw you at the Clash of the Cat, I didn't know that you were such a big fan. Or were you just a fan because I think your son is a fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was a fan. I was a fan growing up, but I grew out of it, right? But that was my first ever WWE show as well, and I get to share it with my son. And
oh, it must have been amazing.
I remember going back, like that's Undertaker. That's like John. I was like shocked. I was like, I became a fan again.
They rolled out the red carpet for you. Like I think Triple H you met with, Undertaker. You did a little thing backstage with Liv Morgan. It was like a fantasy camp that you got to go through.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I want that one of them roles that Fury played. He's like,
oh yes,
like a punch. I want like a punch or something. Just next time I'll go there.
Just turn up.
Come like once a year. I think they come like once a year to Europe. So next time they come, I'm gonna ask to try to slip me in for like a punch or a clothesline or something.
They paid a little extra for that too. Not bad night's work. By the way, what about around town? Do you feel like you get like the second you leave your house?
Yeah.
Is that annoying?
Yeah. Not as bad. Not as bad. I just thought it was, but now I got used to it over time. But I just thought it was like that's when I was like go to the shop.
Everyone wants to take a picture with you. It's a whole thing, right?
And always when they were looking your worst, you just pop into the shop. Okay, before, but then you feel rude to say, "Oh no," so you just end up doing it and carrying on with your day.
But it's not like overwhelming where you feel like you need to leave.
No,
you'll always be in Birmingham.
I don't think I'll leave. Yeah, I don't think I'll leave. I enjoy it. I like traveling. I get to travel a lot for work, so I enjoy coming back to like just peace and quiet and community. Everyone they see me like 1,000 times, and also eventually they leave you alone. And but I feel like go anywhere else it'd be too hectic,
Okay, two last things. I saw you tweet that your bud Arnold Allen will be the next UK champ. Unfortunately, he's not going to be on this card, which is a huge bummer. There was talks of him versus Max Holloway on the card, which would have been sick. You feel this way? Why do you feel this way? Is it just because he's the closest of the bunch?
Nah, just from the way I see him in the gym. Like I'm good, but I can see how he trains, and I know how good he is, and I think it's like me, right? It's like because it's quiet, it's a longer road, to get to where he needs to get to. But I just tell him to keep working, keep improving, and your time will come, and hopefully they can do Max Holloway again in maybe April, May.
Yeah,
once his injury is better, and I think that will put him out there more as far as like his skill set and how good he is, So yeah, I think Arnold next, and I'm rooting for the whole UK, man. I want everyone to do good, like Darren as well. I want to come back and just go do his thing, and so everyone to win.
Yeah, just don't ask us to pay you for interviews, okay? But that would be
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. When you think of the fight, what are you envisioning? Tyron just said, "Oh, it's got to go 5 rounds, 2 even, blah blah blah." What are you feeling right now? What are you envisioning?
When I envision it, it's like, what does he do different, right? Like, if I was him, like, how would I come different? Probably more heavier wrestling, probably. Like just make it a snooze fest. Try to get the belt back that way. I don't think he'll want to hang out on his feet as much. Like before he was talking about boxing Canelo and doing all this and doing all that. I think I put a stop to all that thinking. I think, and I think if he approach it like he's fighting the same guy that he fought in August, I think it'd be a show tonight. You know, like that was about 40%, 50% of what I am. You know, I remember like even was fighting. Yeah, I remember thinking in my head like, Skye ain't that good.
Wow.
My body just weren't working for some reason. You know, even he was like hitting me. I'm a guard up, just like he's like just wailing on my guard. In my head, I'm thinking this motherfucker ain't that good. You know, but I couldn't get my body to work. It just weren't working for some reason. I could think in my head what I wanted to do. My body just wasn't reacting. It was like a weird feeling that I've never felt before, you know. And but yeah, if he approaches like that, then it's gonna be a bad night for him. But like I said, I'm prepared for the best Usman there is, and it's been a long road for me to get to this position, you know. So I can't now get here and give it away like that. You know, I have to show his motherfuckers. So it's gonna be good.
By the way, when you say you couldn't get going, do you think that was strictly because of the altitude or something else?
Yeah, 100%. With my body, you know, like my brain was like clear. I could think like what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
My body just wasn't reacting. You know, so
has that ever happened to you?
No, never. Someone said like that's not the first time. I took like all the precautions when I did like 10 days early to try finesse it, and but yeah, it just didn't help.
Man,
but I felt it like fight week, right? When I was like cutting weight and like hitting pads and stuff, I felt it, you know, and I thought, nah, come fight now, I'll be fine, you know. And I was backstage watching like old Luke that fighting, and he's like putting his hands on his knees and gassing out. I was like, oh my god, they got me.
Aldo too, right? Same thing happened.
Aldo, yeah. I know these guys are fit, you know, and I was watching it thinking, oh no, shit, it's actually affecting people, you know. And but yeah, it's all good. Like I said, I'm not making excuses. It is what it is. He came out. That was the Usman that we know, you know. And it still couldn't put me away. So it's gonna be good.
Well, that will be a big change. Also, he's no longer following you on Instagram. That's another change. So a lot of changes going into this. That was after the.
I don't know what they do. What they do that? Like I think Gilbert is following me now. Just a weird. I don't know.
I'm watching.
The need. Yeah, I just don't see the need to like follow me. You know, I don't post shit anyway. If I'm hitting pads.
Yeah, that's true.
Pictures. What do you think I'm gonna post? Like my game plan. Like, what do you think I'm gonna post? You know, it's just like, why are you following me? It's weird.
Did you follow back when he followed you?
No.
Do you follow any of those guys? All those welterweights?
No.
You don't.
No.
You don't want to see them on your feed.
No, is that why? You know, like what are you expecting to see, or what? I don't understand the mentality, you know. But each of their own. If that's what they do, that's what they do, you know.
Well, I love it.
It's weird.
I can't wait. Leon, you're the man. And you know, I have to just say, it is such a pleasure to talk to you where you're not frustrated. You know, like we had a string of interviews there where you were so frustrated and upset and
I know.
heartbroken and distraught. And now like you're just so happy and so yourself and relaxed. It's a beautiful thing. So I hope it continues for a very long time. Thanks for always making time. Good luck in training. Good luck March 18th, my friend.
Thank you. Good man. Thanks for having me again.
There he is, the champ. The welterweight king, the reigning defending UFC welterweight champion, the one and only Leon Edwards. March 18th, it's going down. Oh, that was the thing that we usually hear with New York Rick. March 18th, it's going down. O2 Arena. It sounds like it's sold out or close to sold out. A lot of tickets sold over the last few days. A lot of people upset about the ticket prices. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it. I know you think that I have a lot of influence on these things. But in fact, I don't. Probably would have been a lot more, a lot cheaper, a lot more doable if it was in a big stadium. But now they're in a smaller stadium or arena. It's pay-per-view. These things come into play. So I can't wait for that. A great trio of welterweights right there, from Jorge to Tyron to Leon, BMF champ, to the former champ at 170 to the current champ at 170. And you can make a case he too is the BMF champ. In a matter of seconds, we're going to be joined in studio by one of the faces of women's boxing, and a lot of people think will be the face in the not too distant future of women's boxing, a rising star who's fighting here in New York City in a matter of days, 5 days to be exact, at the Hulu Theater. But Frank wants me to read this ad here. So, and he said,
it's me.
You said it. And you also said, don't mess around this time, right?
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
This is a clean shot, man. Come on.
Okay,
One
don't
and
mess
done.
around. One and done. And no jokes, no commentary on anything. People get very, so this one's about the NBA. I like this. All right, here we go. NBA fans, it's time to bring the hoops action to the palm of your hand with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in free bets instantly. Download the app now and sign up with the code THEMMAHour. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the National Basketball Association. And you got to use the code THEMMAHour. That's very important. If you don't, they don't know we sent you. 21 and older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario and Ohio. Bonus issued as free bets. Opt-in required. Eligibility and wagering and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. See draftkings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. Please support them because they support us. And perhaps this weekend you could go to DraftKings to place $1 or $2 on our upcoming guest joining us in studio from all the way in Australia. She didn't come straight from Australia to join us here, but that's where she hails from. She's the great, the undefeated Skye Nicolson. Hello, Skye. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good.
Welcome. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Is that Paul? Hello, Paul. How are you, my friend? This is great. Wow, look at this. This is what we call a cheap pop. Do you know what a cheap pop is in the world of pro wrestling? Like when the pro wrestlers come to a town and they say like, go Knicks, because they know the crowd is going to go nuts. You wear the Knicks gear.
That's
I'm
me.
assuming because I'm a big Knicks fan. Is that why? Or
That's
not
why.
because we're in New York? That's a cheap pop.
New York support me when I come out here, so I support New York.
Yes, I love it. It's
Thank
great
you.
gear. Well done.
Thank you.
Jordan as well.
Yeah,
looking good.
love Jordan.
Second time in New York for you?
Second time in New York.
Not as a visitor, but as a fighter.
Yeah, second fight here.
Yeah, April 30th last year was the first time. That was the Taylor Serrano card. There's a little memento there. Now you're back. And prior to that fight, you had just debuted, right, in March of 2022.
Yeah.
Did you expect year one? So you're 5-0 for those that don't know, as a pro. You had like 100 and something.
150, just under.
Insane amount of amateur fights.
Yeah.
You were in the Olympics in 2021, the 2020 games. We shall talk about all this. You won the Commonwealth, Gold Coast Commonwealth Games 2018. You got gold medal in that. Well done. I'm a big fan of the Commonwealth as a Canadian, right?
Yep.
And now you're 5-0 going for 6-0 against Tanya Alvarez. And you're fighting for something called the silver featherweight title of the WBC.
Silver.
What the hell is the silver featherweight title?
It's basically the title before the world title.
The title before the world title.
Yeah.
So this is the one that gets you.
Yeah, this
really
is going to get us that bit closer. So
confirm, like 100%. Is it like a mandatory thing?
It'll put me into probably the top 3 in the WBC.
Okay.
And then there'll probably need to be a final eliminator, and then hopefully be mandatory.
Okay. So this is a big deal.
Yeah.
So the question that I had was, when it started in March of last year, did you think you were going to be this busy? And not only busy, you fought back home in Australia, MSG, back here in New York City. Like, they're putting you on some big cards.
In the UK as well.
Yes. Did you think it would go like this, or is this bigger than you thought so far?
It's kind of gone exactly to plan.
Okay.
We definitely did plan to be very busy. Obviously, signing with Matchroom, I knew that I would be able to box around the world, which is exactly what I wanted. And yeah, they really delivered on that. So no, I had an amazing first year, and well, it still is my first year.
Right.
But yeah, the first 11 months, it's been incredible.
I saw an interview that you did after the Olympics. So this was kind of like post-summer 2021. And at the time you said you weren't interested in going pro because your big desire was to go for the 2024 games. Now the rules have changed a little bit, but it seemed like you wanted to stay as an amateur so that you could focus 100% on the Olympics. Ultimately, why did you decide to go pro?
Yeah, as soon as I finished the Olympics, obviously very narrowly missing out on a podium finish, potentially a gold medal. My automatic thing was Paris 2024. So I was very ingrained in the amateur system. It was like my whole end goal had always been the Olympic gold medal. So just falling short, it was just this automatic thing for me that, okay, Paris 2024, let's go. And I didn't really ever have much interest in turning pro. I didn't really watch professional boxing.
Really?
Yeah.
As a fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched like Katie Taylor, obviously,
Right.
a few of the other big names, but for the most part, like I wasn't really that into professional boxing. I never really saw myself doing it. I met my manager first, actually, Paul.
Great Paul Reddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He reached out pretty much straight after the Olympics, asking me what my plans were. And I told him the same thing, not really interested in turning pro. And he said, well, that's cool, we'll stay in touch and maybe talk after Paris. And we stayed in touch anyway for the next few weeks after that. And I had a few offers start coming out from managements, from promoters, and then Eddie reached out as well. And I was open to the conversation with everyone. So I entertained the idea of it, but kind of knew in the back of my mind it wasn't really what I wanted to do. I had a Zoom with Eddie maybe about a month after the Olympics, and I said the same thing to him. I was like, I'm not really interested in turning professional, but I'm open to the conversation if you want to talk about it. And he's a good salesman. He's good at his job, and sold me the dream. But I was still a bit on the fence about it. I wasn't 100% sure. But then obviously the rule change as well made it a little bit easier for me because I knew that if I wanted to go back to the Olympics, I could. If I wanted to go back to the amateurs and still go down that path, I had that option. So I was in the UK with the Australian team training for an amateur tournament when I actually met with Paul, met with Eddie, and ended up signing with Matchroom, and a year later, here we are.
So was there any part of you that thought you would never go pro?
Yeah.
And what would you do after that? What would you do after your amateur career?
I've never boxed for it to be my career.
Really?
Yeah. I just boxed because I loved boxing and I loved winning. My goal was never to make it my job or my career. I did it because I loved it. I loved winning medals and representing my country, and it's never really been about money for me.
But at some point you have to earn a living, right?
Yeah.
So what was the plan? What was your job going to be?
I was going to university and everything, so I was always interested in journalism and
really?
Media, that kind of thing, which is why I love doing commentary and working punditry.
Yes.
But
did you study journalism?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I just honestly, I never saw boxing being an option as a career for me. So obviously now I'm wow, I'm actually living the dream because I'm doing something that I just do because I love it, and I'm getting paid for it.
Yeah. And so a year in, do you like the life as a person who earns money off of boxing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm loving it.
So you've changed your stance now.
I have.
Okay.
I have.
How soon did that happen?
I mean, I'm still doing what I love, but now I'm getting paid for it as well. So it's a win-win really for me.
Feels like you don't often hear that from someone who's in the amateurs. You'd think that eventually they all want to go. It's here in MMA, college wrestlers or Olympic wrestlers, for the longest time, they couldn't do anything after. Now they can transition to MMA, even though it's not, exactly. But they also had to come to terms with the fact that this is going to end at some point. For you, you had that next thing and you just didn't want to. I don't feel like you hear that often from an amateur or from an Olympian.
Yeah, I think even when I first started boxing, female boxing wasn't even in the Olympics.
That's true.
So at that time, I was literally just doing it because I loved it. I'm a competitive person and I like being the best. I just wanted to win all the time. So then when it was introduced into the Olympics, I was 17. And that was when I realized that was my dream. That's what I wanted to do. And that could be me in a few years' time. And then I guess it was the same with the pro stuff. It was I realized a new dream that I didn't even know I had. And now I'm living it.
Now, what is the state of this rule? Because now, is it no longer the case that you can go back? What is going on here?
Yeah, you can.
You can?
Yeah.
What has to happen, though?
Nothing.
Can you just decide?
Literally any professional fighter can go back and
even one
box.
could Terrence Crawford
Yeah.
go? Really?
Yeah.
Wow, they just opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like basketball, right? How the NBA guys can
exactly.
go. That wasn't always the
tennis,
case.
everything. It's it's kind of.
Is this the first year? Is 2024 the first time?
I think they could in 2020.
Okay.
But not many do it.
Okay.
And not many are really interested in doing it. And at the time, I didn't really understand that, but I do see now why boxers wouldn't.
Why not?
It's different.
Okay.
It's really different. It's been a big year of learning.
Okay. Like you mean the rules, the whole thing?
Yeah, so obviously in the Olympics,
Scoring.
you're boxing 3-3-minute rounds.
Right.
Whereas now I'm boxing 10 2-minute rounds. So the pace is different. The training's different. The scoring's different. So while it is boxing and boxing, it's quite different. But I think it would be more different for men going from 3-3s to 12-3s.
Okay.
Than 3-3s to 10-2s.
Right.
I feel like the change wouldn't be as dramatic for a female fighter, but I do see why boxers opt not to do it.
So have you decided whether or not you're going to go for 2024?
I'm quite on the fence. I really want to. I feel like I have unfinished business with the Olympics. But at the same time, this is going to be a huge year for me.
This upcoming year?
This upcoming year. And this is also the qualifying year for the Olympics. So
when does it start?
In the second half of this year.
Second half of 2023.
Yeah.
So you have to decide relatively soon.
Yeah.
Like how soon?
Probably in the next month or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Very soon.
Are you leaning in a certain direction?
It's hard because I feel like to win an Olympic gold medal, you have to be all in. To be a world champion or an undisputed world champion or multiple weight world champion as a professional, you need to be all in. So I think I need to decide which way I want to go and go with it 100%. I can't dip between the two and say I'll have a pro fight here and then I'll go and qualify and then I'll go have another pro fight and then I'll go back for the Olympics. So I have some big decisions to make.
Okay.
But I'm quite on the fence at the moment. I think it depends on a lot of things, but
Eddie probably wants you to stay on this side of the fence, right?
I would say so, but at the same time, he knew when I signed that that was my dream. And he also was excited at the fact that I could potentially go and win a world title and then go back to the Olympics, win the Olympic gold medal, come back to the pros. It's something that's never been done before as well. So
for men or women, right?
Yeah.
Man, that would be a big deal.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd get a lot of attention.
Yeah, it would be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I have to be honest, and I'm sorry to say this, the first time I saw you was not your best moment. It was when you were at the podium after losing in the Olympics and you were very, very emotional. And that clip kind of went all over the place, if only because you were so emotional, but it wasn't because people were mocking you. It was just like, you know, it was so heartbreaking to see someone that emotional. You could hardly even speak. I think you didn't even want to talk to the Australian media, right? Like you fought it.
I didn't want to, no.
Right. Could you take us back to that?
Yeah.
You make it to the quarterfinals. No one has ever won a medal, right? As far as an Australian boxer. And
female
boxer, right?
But we hadn't even won a medal, male or female, for about 30-something years as well.
Wow.
So.
And you think you won, right?
Yeah.
And you find out via judges' scorecards you lose.
Yeah.
What's going on in your mind?
I mean, I've never actually come out and said that I thought I won. It was a very close competitive fight. You have 3-3-minute rounds to convince 5 people that you did more than they did in that very short time. 3 judges decided she did it by 1 point. 2 judges decided that I did it 1 by 1 point, 1 by 2 points. So it was the closest of close that it could be. And it was one of those fights where you feel like it could go either way, but watching it back as well, I did think that I had done enough to win the fight, and so did most people that watched the fight, which is why it was so heartbreaking. I didn't want to talk to the media because I knew that I was going to cry, and I didn't really want to cry on live national TV or international, whoever was there. It was really hard, but when it's years and years of everything built up to that one moment, and it's one person's decision on 1 3-minute round, that was the difference. It's really, really hard to take, but I got a lot of support I guess, for being so vulnerable and open in that moment, which was really nice as well. People were very supportive, and I think it was good to show that athletes are human as well, and they cry and it hurts, and it just shows how much it means to the athletes as well in that moment.
Have you allowed yourself to watch that clip ever of you? Have you?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times. It was going around social media quite a lot
Right.
at the time. I haven't seen it for probably about a year or so, but I've watched the fight back a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And initially, did it take you a while?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just wanted nothing to do with it.
No, I didn't watch it for a while.
And when you watch it, you think you won?
Yeah.
The woman you lost to, is she a pro?
She turned pro as well. Yes, but she's doing Paris as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Is there any possibility of you meeting her again, either pro or?
I mean, potentially. I'm moving a bit quicker through the pros than she is. I think her main focus is probably more still with the amateur system. I think she's had 2, maybe 3 pro fights, 6-rounders maybe. I think it could potentially be a big fight that could be built up. She's a good, skillful southpaw. We box in the same weight division, so and we could meet in Paris. You
Right.
never know. I could, if I do go back for Paris, I could potentially change weight classes though. But yeah, I think I would love to do that fight again. I don't know if she would, but I would always be open to that fight.
So here's the thing, like even you talking about that fight, like I could see the pain, right?
Yeah.
It still feels very real. It still stings.
Mm-hmm.
How could it remain that way and you not go back to the Olympics? Like, do you feel like you will regret it for the rest? Because at this point, this is your last shot at the Olympics. Would you agree with that or no?
I mean,
Be another 8 years.
if the boxing stays in the Olympics, because there's all the talk about it not, I could easily go for 2028.
Right.
I'd be 32, which is the age of most of the Olympic gold medalists in female boxing.
Okay.
So I definitely have time on my side, but I think if I was to do it and then go on to have a successful pro career, I would do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And is that part of the motivation, like that you feel like you will regret it, like you have unfinished business?
I mean, that's the decision that I need to make. I need to decide, am I happy doing what I'm doing and continuing on this path that I guess life has led me to? Or do I go back and try and finish unfinished business? It's risk versus reward as well. The Olympics is hard. You are fighting the best in the world and you're fighting completely different styles. You're making weight, fighting on the same day. You're fighting day after day. It's very different. It's not one 10-week camp for one particular opponent, one style that you're, I guess, studying and preparing for. You have to be prepared for anything and everything. And you have 3 3-minute rounds and it's in the hands of the judges. So yeah, there's a lot of weighing up to do, but I'm sure I'll make my decision and stick with it and be okay with it, whichever way.
How depressing was Tokyo? Like watching it on TV was pretty damn depressing. How depressing was it? Like super strict, right? You couldn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't really. I'm sure maybe that's part of the motivation too, right? In Paris,
Go
God
for
willing,
a real Olympic experience.
Yeah, you get to do the whole thing. You get to walk out in front of people. You get to compete in front of people, right? Your family probably couldn't be there, I would imagine.
Yeah, no.
Australia was super. I mean, we would talk to the Australian fighters all the time. What you guys had to go through was insanity.
It was insane.
Yeah.
That definitely would be part of it as well. I think leaving Tokyo and automatically setting that goal for Paris was a bit like that as well. It was obviously not the full real Olympic experience. There was literally like fake crowd sounds playing like through the speakers while we were boxing. Like you would just hear random like crowd cheers when nothing's happening in the ring.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think that would definitely be part of it as well. It was a weird experience. And then obviously the 14-day hotel quarantine coming back, not seeing your friends and family, especially after a bit of an emotional roller coaster.
How tough was that?
Yeah.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
couldn't even
gosh.
go with our roommate that we'd been with the whole time.
Oh my God. How did you spend
it
the
was so
time? Like,
depressing.
how did you pass time?
I literally was Instagram living all the time. And it was quite fun. I had fun in there.
You did?
I put up my like hotel room details and people just sent me Uber Eats like
no way.
the whole 2 weeks, and I got so fat.
Wait a second. You put up like your
Yeah,
room
so
number
it's all
and
like
everything?
it was all like police.
Yeah.
You couldn't get in or out of the hotel. But so I put up my hotel number.
Okay, so that's not sketchy to put that up because of the police.
Yes.
Okay.
No one was getting in or out of the
Got it.
building, so it was
Okay.
quite
I guess
safe.
it's the one time that you could put
Yeah.
up your hotel details, right?
So I put it up, and everyone was just sending me like food.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
just getting like every time the doorbell dinged, I was like, oh my God, I've got another meal. And so I had quite a lot of fun with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually on national news and everything
You were
back
doing
home in
this?
Australia.
Oh my gosh, you probably didn't have to pay for a single meal.
I didn't. It was amazing.
All right, I guess that's turning the negative
Yeah.
into a positive.
No, but we got sent like exercise bikes and stuff into the room just to like keep ourselves sane. And my family would come and like wave.
Oh my
I was up on like the 20th floor, and I'd just like wave to my family. But yeah, it was a long 14 nights.
Can we talk about your family?
Yeah.
Your story is, it's a heartbreaking story.
Mm-hmm.
It's an unbelievable story when you first read about it and hear about it. And so for the audience that doesn't know, if I may,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, you had two brothers, Gavin and Jamie, who passed away a year before you were born, right? In a car accident. And Jamie was an incredible boxer,
Yeah.
right? At the time, the best Australian amateur boxer, right? I can't even imagine, as a parent myself, Gavin was 10.
Yeah.
I have a 10-year-old. Like when you read that, it breaks your heart. And so I'm so sorry
Yeah.
to hear that your family has gone through that. And then amazingly, you're not even born, and now you follow down your brother's path and footsteps. And over time, correct me if I'm wrong, you have been told that you box exactly like him.
Yeah.
Right? You look exactly like him. The crazy thing about the story is you unfortunately never met your brothers.
No.
You do have an older brother, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and he owns the gym that you train
Yeah,
at?
he's a boxing coach. Yeah,
Right,
he
which
taught
is
me how to box.
Incredible. So
Yeah.
it's all in the family. And so is it just you two as far as siblings?
And my sister.
And your sister. Is she a
Yeah.
boxer as well?
No.
Okay, wants nothing to do with it.
No.
Okay. Do you recall when you found out about your brothers?
Not really. So I feel like I always grew up hearing about my brothers. I don't remember an exact time where they sat me down. I think it was just like from the get-go. You have two brothers that are up in heaven, and Jamie and Gavin, and they're talked about and celebrated like so often in our like family day-to-day life that it was just like normal for me. But yeah, mum always said to me like she was so happy when she found out I was a girl, because like I would never be compared to Jamie or Gavin or expected to box or do the things that the boys did. And I ended up just being literally like the two of them meshed into one person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But the boxing stuff's a bit creepy. Like, I never saw footage of Jamie boxing. I started boxing when I was 12 years old, and a bit of an awkward southpaw, hard to hit, evasive, and rely a lot on like my natural reflexes and timing. And I got it literally from my first fight, people coming up to me saying, oh my God, I just watched you box. You are just like him. You look like him in the head guard. Like it was like watching Jamie again. And I always just thought, oh yeah, like we were both southpaw, like there's lots of left-handed people in our family, whatever. And then I was at the Institute of Sport when I was 18, so 6 years later, and they have like a library of footage from like all different Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, and I found a DVD of my brother fighting at the Commonwealth Games. And I was like, oh my God, I want to watch this. I've never seen it.
At that point, you had never seen...
I'd never seen
Wow.
any footage of him actually boxing.
Wow.
Yeah. So because he boxed through the 80s and 90s, it wasn't like, there wasn't phones, there wasn't...
Right.
Yeah, so there was phones, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Social media.
Cell phones, yeah.
And I put this DVD on, and it honestly, like, I kind of like sat back in my chair and was like, it was like watching myself. And I couldn't believe it. And I was like, this is what people were saying, like, all this time. And mum and dad, like, they would say it all the time. And I just never thought anything of it. And yeah, it was pretty, like, surreal to see it.
I can't imagine that moment. when you
Yeah.
like you're watching? Kind of,
I was watching it, and it honestly felt like I was just watching myself.
wow.
He kind of had like long hair.
Okay.
He rocked a bit of a mullet.
Okay.
And it's like poking out little bits through the headgear and stuff. And I was just like, oh my God.
Was that emotional for
So
you?
weird. I had goosebumps, and it was just such a strange feeling. I was just like, our style of boxing, like you can't really teach it. It's just something that's so natural.
Mm.
Yeah, and it was a weird feeling, but it was cool though. I feel like boxing's like, I feel like I know Jamie so well because I've just like been on such a similar path to what he was on, and experienced so many of the things that he experienced. So it's always been like a bit of a, like almost like a comfort blanket for me that like everything that I'm doing, he's been and done, and he's like there with me a little bit, which is a pretty cool feeling.
Mm. By the way, I've heard you talk a lot about Jamie. People don't ask you as much about Gavin because Jamie was the boxer.
Yeah.
But who was Gavin?
So Gavin was 10. He actually boxed as well.
Wow.
I think he'd had like 7 or 8 fights. I actually met someone recently who was Gavin's last fight.
As a 10-year-old?
Yeah, as a 10-year-old. They fought each other as 10-year-olds.
Incredible.
And he was like, yeah, he beat me. I was like, oh, go Gavin. He was apparently very like cheeky, kind of boisterous. He was into like musical theater and dancing and all of that as well. So I actually was very into all of that stuff around that age as well. Before I started boxing, I was into musical theater and dancing, and I did all of that stuff as well. So Mum always said like I was Gavin through and through, and then all of a sudden I was Jamie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. So.
Were you the last child that they had?
Yes.
Okay, so your sister and brother are older than you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't imagine your poor parents. How did they deal with all of this?
I mean, I think it's not something you'll ever get over. They obviously just had to learn to live with the cards they were dealt, and they make the most of it. Yeah, I couldn't imagine it either. Like what any of my family went through. Obviously, my sister was 7. My brother was 24. And yeah, I've definitely been there when they've been reminiscing on some really, really hard times during that period, and been so grateful that I didn't have to experience the loss that the rest of my family have, because I couldn't imagine it at all. Like it's hard for me and hurts me, and I wasn't there.
Right, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Still a part of you, your family, and seeing that. Was Jamie driving?
Yeah, he was driving to boxing training, him and Gavin.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So it's a part of your DNA, boxing, obviously, and you said your older brother taught you. Did you get into boxing because of him, because of them? Like ultimately, as a 12-year-old, why did you decide to do this? As
a 12-year-old, I was getting a little bit chubby.
Okay.
I was about to start high school, and it was kind of like Mum kind of encouraged me to go in the gym because it was literally in our backyard.
Oh.
Yeah.
The ring?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had a ring in your backyard?
Yeah, we got a big gym.
Wow. Okay.
So that's where I did all my boxing. My whole amateur career was in the gym in the backyard.
Wow. Is this like a
no excuse to not go to training?
Gym, like with a roof?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like a big giant shed.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely had no excuse.
Yeah, so Mum was like, yeah, why don't you just go to the gym every now and then and just like get fit? I think she was actually a bit nervous about me going to high school, but it was really good for my confidence, obviously, going in the gym as well. And so I just started going up there just to like punch the bag and whatever. And there was a couple of boys around the same age as me starting out at the same time. So they just started, they were learning to box. So I kind of just went through the same training sessions that they were doing every day. And then they started sparring and doing partner work. So I started doing sparring and partner work. Like I was literally their like sparring partner. And I think it was literally about 8 weeks after I first put hand wraps on for the first time. The boys, their names were Connor and Jai. Connor and Jai were getting their medical books done so that they could go for their first weigh-in to have their first fight.
As 12-year-olds?
As 12-year-olds.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I'm doing everything they're doing, so I want to weigh in too.
Oh, wow.
And mum and dad kind of like laughed it off a little bit, but at the same time were like, well, if she wants to do it, like she wants to do it. There's not going to be another 12-year-old girl there anyway, so she's not going to get a match. So they kind of felt like, oh, well, if it keeps her happy and she's in the gym, she's training, we'll get her medical book done. And so we all went to this first weigh-in of the year in February 2008. And another 12-year-old girl weighed in.
Oh, my.
And her name was Amy. And I think she'd had like 5 or 6 fights. And I hadn't had a fight, obviously. Been in the gym 8 weeks. But she was like 2 kilos lighter than me, or like 4 pounds. And my brother, my coach, he was like, you'll be right. She's 2 kilos lighter than you. She's had 5 fights, but like, who could they be against? There's like no one. And I got so nervous, like so nervous, because I think I kind of went there thinking the same as my mum and dad, like there's not going to be another girl anyway, but I'll be part of the process. I'll go and do it all. But yeah, I had my first fight that night and never looked back. I don't think I've spent more than a couple of weeks out of a boxing gym ever since.
Did you win?
I won.
Wow. How?
Yeah. Points.
Okay.
Yeah, won on points.
You knock her out in the first minute or something?
Most of my 150 fights were on points. We ended up fighting each other 10 times.
That same girl?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
What's the record between you two?
7-3 to me.
Okay, nice.
I won the last one. It's what matters the most.
Yes.
No, but because we were the, like, 2 of the very, like, small pool of girls boxing at that time.
Right.
We'd both show up and we'd both just fight again. And it happened over the years. I think the last time we boxed it would have been, I was about 17 or 18.
Is she still in the game or?
No, I don't think so anymore. I think I might have actually been her last fight when we were around 17, 18. You see a lot of boxers kind of drop off around that age.
Okay.
But yeah, 10 times we fought each other because there just wasn't many girls around back then. But that's kind of how it all started.
And at one point you go like, all right, this is fun. My brother's coaching me, and now it's like Commonwealth, Olympics.
Yeah.
Obviously, like at what point does it turn from trying to get fit and have fun to like a serious thing?
Yes. So obviously it was just local shows mainly. I went to the nationals and things obviously as in the under 14s, under 15s, under 16s. And then in 2011, so I've been boxing a few years then, it was the first ever women's junior world championships in Turkey. And I got picked for the team for that. So that was kind of my first taste of representing the country, going overseas, boxing against other girls from all around the world. So that was quite a cool and exciting experience for me. Even then, I literally just did it because I was having fun and I just loved winning. I didn't really take boxing very seriously until I realized the Olympic dream.
Okay.
That was when it got serious. But I was on rep teams. I went to Junior World Championships, Youth World Championships, Women's World Championships, I think 3 Women's World Championships. But yeah, 2012, realized the Olympic dream. Watched Katie Taylor win the Olympic gold medal.
That must have been insane for you to be on her card, right?
Yeah.
Such a big deal?
Yeah.
Did you get to tell her that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I first met Katie Taylor in Ireland. She was from like a really like close town to where my cousins in Ireland live, and my family, we were over there on holiday. I think I was around 14. And they actually organised for me to do a training session with Katie. And somehow, I don't know what happened, but the time and day and everything got all mixed around, and we like showed up in the gym and no one was there. And we were like,
heartbreaking.
I know. And they were making all these calls, and she was at some sports award winning, like Sportswoman of the Year or something. And she actually came out of the awards ceremony and the awards dinner and came and met me.
No way.
Yeah, and we got a photo together and everything. And like that, I think that was a really special moment for me. And seeing like how real she was as well, like to go and do that and take her time away from something so important to her to come and meet this kid from the other side of the world No, that really stuck by me. And then obviously the next time we met was in 2016, so I was 21.
Okay.
And we were both lining up for the podium in separate weight divisions. We'd both just got bronze medals at the World Championships. And I met her again there and got a picture with her there. And then the next time was in New York.
Wow.
For Taylor Serrano. So quite a cool little timeline of following my idol.
Katie is the best. She
Yeah.
might be like top 3 favorite athletes of mine.
Yeah.
She just like everything, like even that story that you just said.
Exactly.
Just someone that you want your kids to look up to, someone that you can say, I mean, Ireland loves her. They worship her. I hope she gets to fight. And you should be, are you going to be on that card if she fights in Ireland?
I'll try.
Oh my gosh.
I hope so.
And you have family in Ireland too.
I do.
Oh
I
my
do.
gosh.
It would be a really good card to be on.
Yes, the rumor is she might be coming to New York.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, Serrano's fighting. It would
Yeah,
make sense,
it makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
But that is great to hear that she is who we think she is, right?
Yeah,
Like
she
that
is. She's a very real, humble, down-to-earth person.
Was that part of the motivation to sign with Eddie too, because of what he's done for her pro career?
I think, yeah, what he's done with women's boxing in general. Because before he signed Katie Taylor and did what he's done with her pro career, women's boxing was like very small scale. And there wasn't, I guess, a lot of motivation for women to turn professional. And I think Matchroom's done an amazing job of growing women's boxing to what it is today.
By the way, what did your friends think like when you're in high school and stuff and you're boxing and no one else is doing this? Were you an outcast? Did
You
they
know
think you were
what?
super tough, cool?
Before I started boxing, so I was still in primary school.
What is primary school for those that don't know?
Elementary.
Elementary, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. Language barrier.
Primary, secondary, yep,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. I always loved like playing football and stuff at lunchtime. Like I loved like playing with the boys. And in my last year of elementary school, so I think we're all around age 12,
Okay.
the boys and girls started being like a little bit mean to me, and, like referring to me as a boy or like calling me a boy. And I was like really embarrassed about that. So I was like trying to change who I was and be like more feminine and try and talk more girly, and because I had quite like a husky voice as well.
Okay.
And I was like quite shy and embarrassed about it because of the other kids at school. And when I started boxing, it was cool with the boys in the boxing gym, but because of that experience I'd had at school, I didn't tell many people about it. So I was boxing on weekends and stuff, and I didn't actually mention it to people at school for probably a good year or so. But as I made good friendship groups at school and stuff, obviously the friends that I was close to knew I was boxing, and they'd actually come and watch me box and stuff. And it eventually started spreading around the school. And it was so different to the experience I'd had in primary school. And the kids thought it was really cool. And I started having like the older boys in like the next year level up and stuff come and ask me about boxing. And I could see that the people that didn't like it before started to change their minds about it. And we're like, oh, it's actually cool what she's doing. And it was good though. Like, I feel like you're so insecure at that age, especially like being a girl, doing a male-dominated sport. It was basically unheard of in 2008, 2009 of girls boxing, especially 13-year-old girls.
Right.
To kind of confidently be able to start talking about it and being open about it. And like even like to teachers and stuff at school, I would just say, oh, in my chosen sport. That's what I used to say.
Wow.
I'm doing this in my chosen sport, and I wouldn't actually say what I did.
And they wouldn't ask you?
I mean, I can't really remember.
Okay.
But I remember being embarrassed
Trying to hide it, yeah.
Yeah, about saying
Weird.
it. Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore, right?
No.
Like a 12-year-old in Australia now?
I mean, I hope
because of the
not.
likes of you?
I really hope, yeah.
Right.
I hope that I think it's much more accepted now, and obviously it's grown so much. The talent pool's huge now. You see every year like more and more younger girls coming through, and they're amazing. They're good little boxers. Like, it's exciting.
By the way, what did your parents think when you got really serious at this? You know, because of the history with your brother, Jamie. Like, was it too painful for them? Did they encourage you? Did they not want you to do it? What did they?
They've honestly been so supportive, like from the start. Like, I'm really grateful that I have parents that are so supportive of like what I chose to do, whether it was what they wanted or didn't want. They saw that it made me happy. They saw that I loved what I was doing, and they've always been so supportive. They literally land in New York tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Incredible.
I haven't seen them since November.
Okay.
So I've been in camp in London.
Right, because you live in London.
Yeah.
That's where you train.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. And why not in Australia?
I feel like I found my team in London. I have great access to a lot of great female sparring. I'm obviously signed with Matchroom. I'm working on DAZN shows. So for me, it just makes sense for my career to be based in the UK.
Okay.
I love Australia, but for right now, I'm exactly where I need to be.
Okay, so your older brother isn't your coach anymore?
No. Yeah, so he coached me. He's still very much involved. He was in my corner in my last fight back home in Brisbane as well.
Okay.
But he trained me until I was about 18, and then he actually took a coaching job in Papua New Guinea to train their national team. So he was away like full-time, training them for the Rio Olympics. He actually was their team coach for the Olympics in Rio.
Okay.
And yeah, so I started training with Wayne Tolton, who's also coming to New York. He was my amateur coach from when I was 18 for the rest of my amateur career.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will your brother be at this fight?
My brother's not coming to this fight, no.
Sister?
No.
Why not?
I know.
They can't be bothered?
No, so my sister literally just moved to Dubai.
Oh, wow.
Like last week.
Okay.
So they're getting settled there. She's married with 3 boys.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to Dubai on Monday. So I'm going to go see the family.
Okay.
See all them next week, get some sun. And yeah, my brother's got work and things on, but mum and dad get here tonight, and Wayne, my other amateur boxing coach, will be here, and he's going to come in the corner as well with my team from the UK.
Yeah, speaking of no sun, UK, not so much. Here, not so much. Detroit, not so much.
No.
But you were with Alicia Baumgartner.
I was.
That's big. I mean, coming off her massive win, she's a huge star now.
Yeah.
She's on this card as well. What was it like spending a few days with someone at her level?
Yeah, it was amazing. We did some sparring together.
Oh, nice.
We have so much fun together. We're quite like geeky. I know we don't always come across as like quite geeky, especially her. I feel like she looks so badass until you know her.
Right.
But no, we always have so much fun. And it was really good working in the gyms in Detroit, training with them, seeing how they train, how they do different things. Sparring was an experience. In the UK, I feel like it's a lot friendlier.
Oh, wow.
Just like not the actual sparring, but like everything that goes with it.
Intense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It felt really intense. It was a new experience, but in the UK, like when you show up to sparring, it's like the girls you spar, you're like, hey, how was your weekend? And it's quite chatty.
Yeah.
Then you get in, you're serious, you do your work, and then you're like, chatting again, let's get a picture, and everything's quite friendly. Not quite the same.
Here it's like a fight.
Experience.
Really?
Yeah. You're in there to fight. It's like a war. And
Damn.
I watched about 8 rounds of sparring, and some of the girls that I was sparring before my first spar. And Ed, my coach, and I would like just look at each other every now and then and go be like, this is really intense. Like the coaching's very vocal.
Okay.
So in the UK, they don't really say much at all. They stay quite quiet during the rounds and then obviously talk in the breaks.
Right.
Whereas the coaches here were like super vocal, super hands-on. It was an experience, but it was good.
Not surprised. Detroit's a tough place.
Yeah.
You got a sense for it? Like it's not exactly.
Especially where the gym is. Like,
yeah. Oh, really?
We were in the hood.
Okay.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah. Okay.
It was cool.
No one usually says the hood and then it was cool right afterwards.
No, honestly, it was a great experience. I'd definitely do more camps there. Obviously, I was only there for the week, but I really enjoyed it. It was good.
By the way, I don't know, are you an MMA fan? You're friends with Casey O'Neill, right?
I am friends with Casey
King
O'Neill.
Casey.
I am.
She's actually immortalized here. Did you see her photo?
No.
Her photo is right over there.
Oh, really?
Yes, because you have to see it. It's a great photo right over there. You see her? No, turn around a little bit more. No, this is right here, right here.
Oh.
Right here. You see her?
Oh, here she is.
Because she wore my T-shirt to a media day, and I said, if you wear my T-shirt to a UFC media day, you will be immortalized for life. Legend.
She's a good gal.
She's a legend, but I hear she's a bit of a troublemaker as well when she wants to be. What is your relationship like with Casey? The look you're giving me now is that she's not a troublemaker.
I haven't had that experience.
Okay. I say this fondly. I say this, like you don't want to get on her bad side.
No, she's cool. We get along really well. Again, kind of like Alicia, like we just have fun.
She's going to text me 1,000% at some point being like, why did you call me a troublemaker?
No, she's cool. She's fun.
You ever train MMA?
No,
Never. It's massive in Australia.
I know.
You know Alex Volkanovski?
I do.
Not personally, right?
We've met.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Where?
Yeah, so we were both sponsored by Combat Nutrition.
Okay.
And both worked with the same nutritionist, Geordie Sullivan, for a while. So, we crossed paths on a couple of occasions.
He has a huge fight in Perth, February 12th. He's going up a weight class.
Okay.
To fight this
He's like
unbelievable Russian.
the best in the UFC, right?
He is number 1 pound for pound.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's really cool.
Yes, number 1 pound for pound, has never lost. Featherweight champ, now that's 145. Now he's going up to 55 to fight this unbelievable Dagestani guy. He is the underdog. There's quite a size difference, height difference. A lot of people think he's going to lose.
What do you think?
I think he's going to win.
You think he's going to win?
Now, he's one of my favorite people.
He's another one like Katie Taylor, right?
I mean, I say mensch, like salt. You know what a mensch means?
No.
Mensch is a Yiddish term that I like to use a lot. Salt of the earth, like true, unbelievable human being. Like hasn't changed since the first time I talked to him till now. Comes on the show when it's 6 a.m. in Australia. Doesn't complain, because of the time difference. Yeah. He is unbelievable. So I'm having a fit. He came on my show last year. He cooked for us. He's a big cooker. So he made chicken wings with us with takis or techies. I always get it wrong. He's an unbelievable chef. Yeah. He's just an incredible guy.
Good egg.
So yes, good egg. Good egg. So I have a love for him. Yes. Well, I mean, I've never really had a bad experience. I've been to Australia twice. I went to the Ronda Rousey fight when she got knocked out. Were you at that one?
No.
You heard about this, right?
I've actually never seen UFC live.
Never. No. It's quite the experience.
No, I have been to some MMA, like smaller shows, but not the UFC.
So that was at the, it was Etihad, now it's Marvel Stadium in Melbourne.
Oh yes, Melbourne, yeah.
I say Melbourne, see I'm legit, not Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne, right?
Melbourne.
That's right?
Yeah.
And then I went to the Acer Arena, which I don't think it's called the Acer in Sydney.
Okay, so you haven't been to the best city.
Which is?
Brisbane.
Gold
Coast, Brisbane.
That's you, right? That's where you're from? That is a long ways,
Sunshine
right?
State.
Yes. But like how far, like how long is a flight from here to Brisbane?
I mean, the same as going to Sydney.
Is it? I always thought it was like Sydney and then you had to take another 4 hours or something. Or maybe that's Perth. That's even further.
I don't know if you can get a direct flight. You usually can. Before COVID, you could anyway.
Okay.
If you went New York to Brisbane, it's about the same as
You could
Sydney.
do that. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. All right. That's the best? Why is it the best? Because of the beach and everything?
It's a beautiful city.
Okay.
It's the best weather. I'm a little bit biased, obviously.
Sure.
I have lived there my whole life.
Right.
But if you go to Australia, I think you have to go to Brisbane and the Gold Coast.
And the fight that you had end of the year?
That was Brisbane.
Brisbane. And what was that like?
That was good.
Was it a huge deal?
It was a really great experience. Obviously, when I signed with Matchroom, I said that I definitely want to fight in Australia as well. Boxing has great talent in Australia, but lacks size when it comes to fans. So the talent that we do have need to go out. They need to go to the US. They need to go to the UK so that we can like grow our fan base and then bring big fights back to Australia. Because if you're not like a mainstream name, it's really hard to get bums in seats in boxing shows in Australia.
But you're doing that.
We're doing it.
You're on your way.
By
the way, I've read that you get very, very nervous before your fights, and you mentioned this, right?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, because
No.
Did you? But you used to, right?
I used to.
Super nervous.
I used to really suffer bad performance anxiety.
Okay.
Like really, really nervous.
And you still kept going though. You would still do it.
I would do it, but I would like
crippling.
Yeah. And I actually I lost a few amateur fights because of it on a few occasions.
How did you overcome it?
I started seeing a sports psych.
Ah.
Yeah, when I was like 19, and it changed things for me big time. It started with just like little things, like, you know, like becoming present in the moment, like naming things you can see and smell and touch. And yeah, we started like really like delving deeper into lots of stuff, but it helped so much. Like, I don't see a sports psych now, but I like learned things from a couple of different sports psychs over the like couple of years that I was seeing them, that I like the like tools that I still use now, and I barely get nervous at all.
Nothing. Even
I am like
MSG?
so cool, calm and collected.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like singing and
What about
dancing,
Olympics?
having a good time. Olympics was the same.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I honestly I really thought I would be nervous at the Olympics because it obviously like everything had led up to that moment. And I don't know if it was because there was like no crowds and stuff as well, but I remember actually walking out to the ring and being like, this is so weird. Why aren't I nervous? Like, I almost was like nervous for not being nervous.
Yeah. Like
I was like
off.
a bit worried that I was too relaxed. But I think that's when I boxed my best anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this weekend, Hulu Theater, Tanya Alvarez.
Yes.
7-1.
7-0.
7-0.
Yes.
I thought I saw
Someone's has to go.
Someone's has to go, and it's for the prestigious WBC silver featherweight title.
Yes.
At the Hulu Theater. Very cool place. You tweeted you were thinking you needed some suggestions for a walkout song.
Yeah.
Well, first you said walkout, and then I think you got some weird responses.
Yeah.
But then you had to correct it with song you were looking for. Have you picked the song?
No.
You still haven't?
No.
Oh my gosh.
So the people that have watched my first 5 fights, I've come out to the same song.
Which was?
In Excess, New Sensation.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah. So fun.
New sensation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people started saying, like, you're not going to be a new sensation forever. And you can't be, like, a pound for pound great still being a new sensation.
Sure.
Do you know what I
We
mean?
still have a few more to go before we get there, no?
Yeah, like, I feel like I'm still a new sensation.
Sure.
So at the moment, I'm still a little bit on the fence if I stay a new sensation.
It's treated you well.
But then it gets to the point where it's like, oh, do I change it now? It's worked for me all this time. And you start having like superstitions, like you have to come out to that song. I don't like superstitions.
You don't?
Got rid of them. Bad idea. Don't have them.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm all about superstitions.
Oh.
I still have my same Twitter profile pic from the moment I signed up for Twitter because like I'm afraid to change it. I think my whole life is going to go to shit if I change it. So I'm not the one to ask. My initial reaction was don't change it.
Yeah.
But don't listen to me because I'm crippled with superstition. It has ruled my life. First of all, you're still a new-ish sensation. You're not even 30 yet. You're not even close to 30 yet.
No.
Second of all, like we have great fighters like Uriah Faber, great fighter. His nickname, California Kid. The guy is over 40. He's still the freaking California Kid. Who says you have to change these things?
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean? If you like it, if it puts you in a good place, if it makes you happy, comfortable, at ease, it's treated you well.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke. That's what I say. Unless you feel like you need to change, you want this and that. I don't know. How far are we from you being in the pound for pound discussion in your mind?
I mean, I want to fight for a world title this year.
This year, okay.
And Serrano and Cruz are fighting for undisputed in my weight division on this card this weekend. So obviously my eyes set on the winner.
You think winner next?
I mean, not immediately
Okay,
next
all right.
fight. I mean, I'll have to get myself into a mandatory position. I can't just say, hey, I'm ready.
Right.
Put me in, coach.
Why not?
I mean, I would.
Yes.
But there's a process.
Right.
But obviously, whoever's got the belts at 126 in the next in the next few months, in the next 6 months, that's who I'll be coming for.
Okay.
So my first world title fight could be for undisputed against Serrano or Cruz.
Wow. And you think you're ready for that level?
I know I am.
Okay. Wow. The look you just gave me was like, how dare you even question? It was not that I didn't believe it. It's just, some people might think, 3 or more. 4.
No, I think my team will give me the right fights between now and that fight. If it's Serrano, whoever it is. But I think my team also know my capabilities. And I've been sparring and training with world champions, heavier world champions, lighter world champions, and I know I'm ready.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That is quite the promo.
Thank
I like
you.
promos. As a pro wrestling guy, you got to sell the fight. It's important. Last thing before we let you go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know this, but darts are a huge part of my life. I'm a big darts fan.
I have noticed your tweets about the darts.
I tweet a lot about darts
You
these
do.
days. And Eddie is a big darts guy. His family
Yes.
pretty much built their empire on the darts.
They did.
So we've become huge darts fans here. I even watch it on DAZN. Like I'm watching random events now. That's how much I like it. It's very strange. I got one in my house for my kids, but it's like the magnetic ones.
Love that.
So, you know,
Safe.
I don't want them to be
Responsible parent.
Yes,
Good.
exactly. So we're very into it. In fact, Eddie's going to be here on Wednesday in your
Okay,
chair in
cool.
studio. I have a lot of questions about the darts. Some people think that I can take over darts here in America and do a bit of a better job than he did. We'll get to that on Wednesday. Thing is, we have put up a darts board here in this studio, and we're starting a new thing. Look at the look of it, where it has to be 3 versus 3. Okay, 3 shots.
Okay.
Me, 3 shots you, and we're going to keep a running tally of all the people who joined us in studio. So
Okay.
Eddie would be next
Okay.
to see. And are you familiar with darts, like the rules? Okay, it's very. I'll teach you as we go. It's very simple. All you have to do is shoot 3.
Okay.
You've done that before, surely, in your life. You've never thrown a dart in your life.
Do I get a practice run?
We'll let you have a practice run. By the way, I don't really.
Off air?
We're live. We're live. So
Okay.
this is something that we're gonna. And I know you're very competitive.
I am.
I've heard
That's
you say
why I don't-
if
I
you're
don't-
not
I
good
don't
at
know about
something, you
this.
don't do it.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Yes,
don't.
I've heard you say that. But you are first up, and
Wow.
unfortunately, now it's become a thing. You probably. We could have given you the heads up, but there's no fun in heads up, right?
That's okay.
So do you feel mentally ready to do this? All you have to do is shoot 3. I will shoot 3, and then we'll see who gets more points.
Okay.
Do you want to do a practice of 3?
No.
You want to go straight into it?
I'm ready for the challenge.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do
I don't get nervous.
one extra? One
Okay.
practice? You want to do
Yeah.
one?
All right.
I think that's fair. If you want to do
think-
3, we'll do 3.
I think one practice.
One practice.
Okay.
All right, here we go. It's right over there. We're going to do this on the way out. Myself versus Skye Nicolson. Maybe the one athletic thing that I could probably maybe beat you at. We're going to do it right over here. These are the 3. What a setup this is, right?
Amazing.
Okay.
I'm really nervous.
Are you really nervous?
Yeah, I'm more nervous for this than my fight or any fight.
I think you're letting me on. Yes, Paul, an Englishman.
I'm sweating.
See, I thought you don't get nervous anymore. Okay, don't get nervous. This is the line right here. By the way, 6 shoes.
Thank you.
And I saw the orange nails too.
Yeah, I go all out.
You're all out. All right, here we go. I'm good here, Joe.
I feel like I'm not even going to hit the board.
By the way, look at this set. We have this set up right here for you if you
Oh,
want to
great.
see.
Okay.
It's right there. This is like the darts, is it not, Paul?
Yeah.
This is like
Wow.
the PDC. All right, so there's the board. It's preferable if you hit the board. Not
Okay,
the
I'll
wall.
try.
Take
I
it-
can't make any
you're a
promises
lefty,
here.
which is super
I
interesting.
am
yes.
an awkward lefty.
Yeah, no, listen, do your thing.
Southpaw tings.
No pressure. This is a practice one.
All right. Do you use your whole arm, or is it
yes,
more of
I should- you know what?
a
It's fu-
flick of the wrist?
It's funny that you say that. We
Okay.
had Michael Smith, Bully Boy, who just won the whole damn thing a couple of weeks ago. He said, lean in, don't bend your knees, which was something that I did.
Okay.
And he also said, follow through.
All right.
So he said, throw it.
Oh.
That's a bad one.
Okay.
But he said,
that looked pretty good to me.
well, it was pretty low. He said, follow through. Make sure to follow through and lean in there. Okay, so here you go. Here's your practice.
All
Skye
right.
Nicolson, the undefeated,
Don't bend the
soon-to-be
legs.
champion. Practice. Okay, that was a phenomenal shot. Look at this. We have the screen here, but I just want to make sure. Okay, so right now that is a 19. If you would have gotten it here, it would have been a ×3, but this would have been a ×2. That's still an incredible shot. All
Okay.
right, so you're in a good spot.
Thank
this
you.
is ×3.
So
this
what
is
am I on?
×2.
Or was that my practice?
That was your practice, unless you want to keep it.
We might need to keep it. That might have been my best and only shot that hit
All right,
the
this
board.
is, now it counts. Now it counts.
All right.
See, I think you're underselling your skills here.
All right.
Here
You
we
say
go.
So.
Shot
I
number
don't know if you saw my strike on my bowling on my Instagram story last week. I'm a woman of many talents.
Okay, not bad. That is a 19 again. All right. your
Okay,
first shot is a
all right.
19. You seem to like that spot
Yeah.
of the board.
Higher.
Getting some coaching. Oh.
Oh yeah!
Wait a second.
That's in the little bit.
Yes, that is an 18.
That's a multiplier.
That's 18 times 3. 18 times 3 is what, Joe? 18, 36,
Oh, that's so hard.
54?
My brain.
Okay, 54 plus 19. So 54 plus 19 would be 73. Holy shit.
Oh my
God.
goodness.
See, I don't believe you for a second. You got a 20, very close to the bullseye right here, and then you got a 20. So you got a 93.
Thank you. Is that good?
That is tremendous. So the best you can get, I believe, is 180. I'm no expert. I'm not going to get...
What did I get?
You got a 93. Are you okay?
Like, yeah.
Okay, here we
I was
go.
really nervous.
You're going to kick my ass. I'm not going to get anywhere near a 93. That is a 13.
All right. That's a good start.
What's that? Frank?
Got this. Come on.
Okay, thank you for the encouragement, Frank. I appreciate you very much. Here you go.
Oh.
18, oh geez. 18 plus 13 is what? Is 31?
Oh, you need a big one here.
I don't even know if it's, actually it is possible. If I get the 60, I beat you. Here we go.
All right.
Come on, baby. Oh, off the board. You hear them laughing? Those bastards? Off the board. I got a freaking 31. You beat me. Not only did you beat me, Skye, you kicked my ass. Well done.
Thank you.
There she is, Skye. We're gonna
Born
look at
winner.
this camera right here. Skye Nicolson, this Saturday on DAZN, Hulu Theater, soon to be WBC silver featherweight champ.
6-0.
Check her out. We're gonna take a quick break, say goodbye. Check out this old interview with Leon Edwards from back in August when he won the belt, and we'll be back right after this. Here he is, the pride of Jamaica, the pride of Birmingham, England, the one and only, the new 170-pound champion of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the one and only Leon Rocky Edwards. There's only one Rocky Edwards. There's only one Rocky Edwards. Walking along, singing a song, walking in a rocky wonderland. There, my man. What's happening, Rocky?
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Arrow, I told you.
You told me, man.
I told you what a road, what a way to do it as well. You know, it was a mad crazy fight, but we got the job done. That's the main thing, you know.
Rocky,
I lost my voice.
I know you lost.
All the crying, all the crying and shouting and screaming and celebrating. My voice is gone, you know. But I had to come on the show. I said I would do it last week, and now here we are. With the belt as well.
Freaking
shiny.
I mean, that is shiny as hell. I need to put my sunglasses on. Rocky, I wish you were here. I'd give you a big hug and a kiss right now. I'm so happy for you. Unbelievable what you did. Can you even put into words what the last 2 days have been like for you? Now you're in Las Vegas, I believe. You go from Utah, you have the part. I mean, we're going to get into everything, but just like, are you still buzzing? Are you still on a high right now? And by the way, you're covering part of the camera over there. I don't want you, there you go. Maybe Tim can hold it for you. What else is he doing over there? You know, you need a cameraman. You're the champion, for God's sakes. You need someone to hold your camera for you. You're the freaking man. Tell us, how are you feeling? What have the last 2 days been like? Can you put it into words?
Everyone keep asking me like, how does it feel? And it's hard to put it into words, you know. And I think that's why, like, in my post-fight interview, I was just like crying because it's hard to like, not just the moment of winning the UFC World Championship, but just the moment to get into that point, you know, to achieving my dream and going through all the ups and downs throughout life and throughout my career. It was it's still difficult to put it into words. It still feels so surreal, you know. It doesn't feel real. Sometimes I woke up this morning, took the belt out of the case and thought, oh shit, I'm actually the world champion. I'm actually the world champion, you know. It still feels so surreal. But like I said, I am proud of myself and my team and everything that we've achieved this far.
So, okay, I actually want to take a step back. The week, you know, we spoke to you on Monday, the week in Utah. Was it a good week? You know, sometimes you say things, you're at the press conference, this and that, but we don't really know what's going on. Now, in retrospect, it's all over. How was the week? How was everything leading up to Saturday? Monday through Saturday, like, how was everything going? Were you feeling in a good place? Were you doubting yourself? Were you confident? How were you feeling in those last few days?
I was confident. I said it like all week, last week, that for some reason, I felt like belonging, and I felt like that's the way it was meant to go. I was meant to be fighting for the World Championship at this moment. You know, I was saying it all week. Like that's what I felt. I didn't feel nervous or nothing. I was kind of getting worried. I think, why am I not like as nervous as I should be? You know, I've been more nervous for previous fights. You know, and I just thought, nah, this is it. This is how God wrote my story, and this is how it was meant to play out. I said it all week. I was saying it all week in the press conference. Like, I felt belonging. This is my moment, and that was it. That's exactly what I felt.
And then what about Saturday? Now, the day of the fight, you go to the arena. Are you starting to feel those nerves? It's all very real now. What were you feeling?
Yeah, 100%. I normally get nervous like the day of the fight anyway, but I normally go like into myself, and I go a bit quiet, and but I always like to still be around my team and being around my having good banter and just trying to make it as normal day as possible. So yeah, I felt a bit nervous going to the arena because I know what the moment will mean, not just for me, but for everyone like me, and like for my mom, for my family, my team. I know exactly what it will mean to them. So it was good. Backstage when I was getting warmed up, I felt it more and more. And as soon as I walk out of the arena, I thought, nah, this is it, man. This is what you've worked for. This is your moment. Just go out there and enjoy it.
Now, when you're watching, I know you're preparing, you're warming up, but you're seeing the TV's on. You're starting to see Aldo get tired, Rockhold get tired. Were you starting to think like, golly, what's going to happen here? Like, were you starting to get worried about the altitude because it's such a big part of the show?
Yeah, 100%. It was like in the back of my mind. And I thought, why is everyone getting tired? I was watching it thinking, nah, I won't get tired because I've been here for 2 weeks. I've slept in like altitude at home. I thought, nah, I probably won't feel it. So yeah, I was watching it backstage and I was saying to my coach, I didn't say it to nobody else, but thinking back in my head as I was warming up, like, oh shit, why is everyone getting tired, But when I went out there, after the first round, my body just, I can't explain it, my body just like shut down, and it was just a weird feeling. Where like around cardio, it's just like more, my body just wasn't reacting. In my head, I could think what I wanted to do, but my body just weren't doing it.
Have you ever felt that way before in a fight?
Nah, never. In my last 10 fights that I had to get to this point to fight for the championship, I've never looked like that in a fight ever, And so even when I was fighting, I thought, man, I was thinking in my head like, mate, what the hell's going on? I just like just keep pushing. And I know it's crafty. Your body's feeling it, but just keep working and stay focused. And it's never over till it's over, right? And I stayed in there and got the clean head kick KO.
Now, we'll get to that in a moment, but in the first round, you had his back, and it looked very good for you. It looked like things were happening. Are you thinking did you feel like you were close to getting him, or did you think this was going to be a part of a long process? What were you thinking in that moment in the first?
No, I knew it would have been difficult to choke, to finish. But I knew once I got on top of him, my ground game is way better than his ground game. So far as jiu-jitsu, he's a wrestler. He likes to be on top. They prefer to be the guy on top, And so I know once I get on top, I'll be able to dominate the grappling part of it. I wish I stayed in mat a little bit more and dropped a few elbows and cut him up a little bit, and then go for the back take. But it is what it is. It did a good job defending the choke. And but yeah, if my body was reacting the way it was in the first round, the fight would have went totally different way. Like the first round, I felt normal, and after that, my body just kind of shut down on me, So if my body felt like I said in the way I did in the first round, it'd be a totally different fight.
Did you start to panic because of how your body was feeling? Were you starting to get worried?
I was getting worried for sure, 100%. Because like I said, it's just the moment was so big for me, and to have just my luck for that to happen, for that to happen, I thought, nah, there's no way that this can happen, can play out like this, because like I said it all week that I feel like this is my moment, like there's no way, like God brought him to this point to make this happen like that, and that's what kept playing in my head. Like there's no way God brought me here for this just to go to decision and finish like this, and yeah, I just, like I said, stay focused, listen to my team. Great motivation.
Okay.
Great motivation. They knew how to pull my buttons, and
golly,
kept me in there at the finish.
There's one version of this. So BT Sport put out like a mashup of your coach, Dave Lavelle, going from the second, third, fourth round, like really, going in. And then a fan then took that and added the Rocky music. Have you seen this clip? It now has like 2 million.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've watched this thing, by the way, I think 300 times since Saturday. I can't get enough of it. But you're sitting there and he is like, come on, son, come on. Like he is going into you. Is that common for him to do that to you? Or was that the first time he really went in on you?
Nah, it's been like that before, but not like that intense, you know. But it's definitely been like that before, even in training and other stuff, you know. I've grown to look at him as
All right, we are back. Thank you very much, Leon Edwards, back in August. Thank you to him, of course, earlier today. And thank you to Skye Nicolson. How great was that? I told you, unbelievable backstory, a lot of resiliency, a lot to overcome, a lot of heartbreak, but now she's killing it. Going to be undefeated after Saturday. Big fight for her, which will lead to other big fights. And perhaps most importantly, kick my ass in the darts. Holy smokes.
Awesome interview, man.
Oh, thanks.
But when you're in there, you're representing all of us.
Yeah.
So when you throw those darts, you are throwing those darts more than just for HOPENY.
I feel like there's a thing that is going to happen here where I am going to lose to everyone. Like, it's going to become a thing where it's going to be supremely embarrassing if you lose to me. By the way, for someone who has never thrown darts before, which she claimed, and I believe her, to get a 93,
it's unbelievable.
I think she hustled you.
You think she hustled?
She's like, I'm a Bible salesman, and then she threw the 93.
I went off the board. Oh, that was one step worse than hitting. I was trying to aim. That's the problem, I think. GC does it more than I do these days. When you aim, I feel like that's when you screw it up. You just got to let it fly.
You have to aim.
Yeah, professional dart players, they don't aim.
I feel like you just have to let it go.
Nah. Got my first 180 this weekend. No big deal.
180, really?
Yeah, first 180.
So in 3?
Yeah, my roommate owes me $50 because of it. When I installed the dartboard, he bet me $50 no one would ever get a 180, and I did it this weekend.
And you just got it like a week ago, right? Or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks, but man, I've logged
A
some time.
180. That
was unbelievable.
It was like Michael may hit and Michael may miss?
Literally. And in between like second and 3, I didn't like stop everything. It was just, I was in rhythm and I would just like scream to him and he ran out as the third one was going into the board.
Wow.
As someone that's played probably 250 games of darts over the last 3 weeks, her getting a 93 the first time ever is like unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I was blown.
That's like a decent mark to set. I don't think Hearn's going to beat that.
Hearn's going to get whooped. I might beat Hearn. The problem with Hearn, by the way, is going to be he's way too tall for this setup that we have. The guy's like 6'4". He's going to hit the light.
Claim suit, the suit's getting in the way.
We got to give a shout out to Joe. He set up this whole thing. That setup that we had here, the 2-camera setup,
the best.
It looked like the actual PDC setup, right?
Yeah. Speaking of PDC, Premier League.
Oh yeah, my God. Yeah, I was pretty upset. The couple guys didn't make it. Listen. These things happen in the PDCs. Premier, only 8 guys, only 8 slots. I mean, when it's that high, only 8 slots. Sorry about Wrexham yesterday, by the way. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about me saying Wrexham was the best story in sports. A lot of people unhappy. And then I got all these like small town Scottish clubs being like, no, we're the best story in sports. I'm like, listen, when you guys get a Hulu series, then we could talk, all right? Or FX, whatever it is, all right? You don't have that. You'll never sing that. Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. All right, let's go back to the guys here real quick and wrap up this bad boy. A lot has happened today. Leon Edwards, Tyron Woodley dropping all kinds of bombs on us. Jorge Masvidal saying that he's coming back next week to drop other kinds of bombs. And honestly, when he was telling me, I got some bombs to drop, I was like, all right, he's going to tell me like he's got, Charles Crazy Horse Bennett. But then you've got Woodley saying something, and all of a sudden I feel, and then he started talking about Aldo and right? Did you know what I'm saying, New York Rick? Like I feel like my expectations went a little bit higher after that.
Yeah, for sure, as they should. It seemed like he may have undersold it.
Yes,
but let's see next week. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
I mean, the Fatty Boobatti was tremendous.
That's what we call it back in the day. Why? You guys don't call it that?
Fantastic.
You guys don't call it a Fatty Boobatti?
Never got
Well, I was with you. I thought it was definitely a vape for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was vape and e-cig. I wasn't sure.
You've
definitely
used the term e-cig for about 600 different.
You know why? It drives people
paraphernalia.
nuts. It drives people nuts when you do that. Shout out to Novak Djokovic. Nice to see
shout out.
Australia
Shout out,
let him
baby.
back in the country.
22.
Yeah. Crazy.
Greatest to ever live.
Is he though?
Who's better?
Well, does he have the...
He's tied with Nadal. Nadal's a specialist on clay.
Mm.
Novak will do it anywhere.
Is he going to win the next one?
Yeah.
What is the next one? The next one would be French, right?
Yeah.
Or Wimbledon.
He's already taken care of Nadal in the French before. He'll do it again this year.
Wait, is French first or Wimbledon?
French. Wimbledon, he's a lock. U.S. Open, if they let him play, he's a lock.
Why wouldn't he play in U.S. Open?
The
vaccine
stuff. Yeah,
I feel like it's done.
No, he couldn't play this past year.
In September?
Yeah, that's why Alcaraz won.
Yeah, but like Kyrie plays and all those dudes.
You're making the argument for me.
I mean, that's crazy.
For the whole Novak camp.
What are we doing here? All right, you have to recap your Rumble picks real quick, and I wanted to talk about one last thing. So why don't you take it away?
Yeah, I mean, it won't take long. I mean, if we just go to the graphic here, just 3 greens right there. I mean, it's getting old at this point. I got this in the mail this morning from WWE, just like last year.
Wow.
Another certificate of achievement. I mean, Connor Burks predicted both the winners again of the Royal Rumble. Our very own Jedi Goodman coining me Mr. Royal Rumble. Doing this 2 years now, 4 for 4. Picked them both. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm seeing a tweet here from MMA Fighting that Skye destroyed me in the darts. Wow, a little bit harsh on the...
She destroyed me, for sure.
I mean,
for sure.
That's not even as harsh as we could go.
But how did I get off the board? God,
we should have just given her the board.
I actually was nervous. How rude would it have been? First timer comes on, we spring it upon her, and I whoop her. It wouldn't have been nice.
That's a very good excuse.
It wouldn't have been nice.
The 18 too. You also did the math wrong when you were throwing that. It didn't even matter if you got off the board or not. You already lost.
Why?
Even if you had gotten the 60, you would have had 91. She got 93.
Yeah, that's right. My math does suck. That is true. Yeah, these things happen. But listen, Royal Rumble, you killed it. I feel like you need to, like, the text that you were sending on Saturday, you were very excited. You were very invested. I feel like you're going to be watching Raw tonight.
No.
3 hours?
He invited me over to watch Raw.
For 3, that's how long Raw is? 3 hours every week?
Oh, if you want to be a WWE fan, the amount of time that you have to invest, like we think the UFC, 3 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Tuesday, NXT, 2 hours on Friday, SmackDown. So right there, okay, you're devoting what, 3, 2, 7? Plus, usually you're gonna watch Dynamite, AEW on Wednesday. That's 9. Then you've got, I think, Rampage is an hour on Friday. It's a real, like, these guys who cover, like the John Pollocks of the world that have to cover this and watch all of it. I don't know how they do it.
I don't want to be a WWE fan. I enjoy these occasional things for fun, but that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Because even the UFC, like, yeah, it might be like a 6 or 7 hour card, but it's just one day.
Yeah.
As you just described, that's like a full-time job at that point.
Is it not a situation, though, where I feel like you'd rather catch up on WWE than UFC, right? Because it's scripted television as opposed to...
Well, then also you get these moments like Sami Zayn turning on the bloodline. I mean, it's just like, that is awesome.
Every Raw or every
no.
SmackDown? So I feel like that's the...
I'll tell you what I do, truth be told. I'll catch things here and there, but especially now that my kids don't watch it, my kids are totally out on it all of a sudden because it's all about soccer now. Like they're talking to me about the FA Cup. They're talking to me about all these things. They're talking to me about La Liga. They could not... Like, that's all they want to talk about. They're talking about... freaking Al Nassr and Ronaldo and all this shit. I don't even know how they get these updates. Anyway, with them, it was, involved. It was a little bit easier. I'll just go on like the BT Sport WWE account. You get a little recap of the night and then you're done. And I'm not just saying that because I do work for them. It's just easy. You stay like you, New York Rick. You listen to a podcast or two. You read a couple websites. You get the updates from Cheap Heat. You get a couple bagel updates too, some haircut updates, and you're good to go.
It's all Cheap Heat.
Yeah.
I only listen to Cheap Heat.
Those guys. All right. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do UFC South Korea Jace. UFC Fight Night South Korea.
UFC South Korea hosted by the APEC.
Wow. Could you imagine?
1 a.m. main card start here on the East Coast.
Unbelievable. The main card is going to end at 4 a.m.?
I don't know. It depends. Maybe Sergey Spivak ends up TKOing Derek Lewis around 3:42.
Are you going to stay up?
Time. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good.
New York Rick?
I will be up.
You're going to stay up?
Up the whole time?
Legend. I mean, honestly, when I do a pay-per-view, you guys too, like, we're still up at 3:30, right?
Yeah, but you don't do a full Bellator card before.
Oh, that's right. Level of excitement regarding Bellator?
Through the roof.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean, as I'll say this: it's high on how excited I would be for a Bellator card.
Feels a little more special.
Yeah.
They have a couple of special things in the works. Perhaps I can reveal them on Wednesday. But yeah, I feel like
I'm most excited for the Serrano Cruz card.
Oh yeah, Hulu Theater, Serrano Cruz, Alicia Baumgartner. I'm kind of bummed that I can't go. To be honest, I would have liked to go. Hulu Theater is a great place to watch fights, as you guys know.
I love it.
Super intimate. Super just no bad seat, obviously, right? Theater setup. It's a great spot, and yeah, anytime they come here, it's great. By the way, there's darts and boxing coming to Jersey City in April, and I got no joke from the people involved a special request that they want you to be there.
You're kidding me.
I swear. They heard that you moved to I swear on my life. They said
you're flattering me right now because I've been watching the darts on the Zone. Last night, I kid you not, you can go through my search history. YouTube, I watched like a 25-minute highlight video from the
darts, the one that's coming to MSG in June. They said, could you tell GC about this one coming in April to Jersey City? Because they heard you say that. There's also a boxing card at some newish venue that's owned by the Prudential Center. Also, they would like for you to be there.
10-minute drive from my house, both those. I can't even tell you how there I am.
All right, there you go. Making things happen. I will not be in Saudi Arabia for Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, but it is happening, and everyone's very excited about it. And it's going to be on pay-per-view here in America right now. Jake Paul, Tommy Fury, who wins?
Jake Paul.
Mike Perry.
You really think this is happening? Yes.
I believe in these people. I take them at their word. You know, it's going to happen.
I really don't think Tommy Fury is going to fight.
You really think so?
Even after the face-off?
It's months away.
Man, could you imagine?
I love the Mike Perry backup situation, though. I think we're getting a winner fight.
I like it, too. I don't know how Tommy Fury rebounds. If he doesn't show up to this one,
Dude.
I don't know how you rebound.
You don't. It's done. You have to show up.
By the way, why was he shirtless when they did the face-off? What happened over there?
When you look like him, why not?
I know, but it was just weird.
Honestly,
that was a whole weird scene a bit, right? Like to do a face-off right before the main event.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I didn't know if I loved. Imagine Better Biev in the back, waiting,
too long,
and he's like, "What the fuck am I waiting? What is going on here?"
One of the best boxers in the entire world.
Yes,
and it's just like, what is this? Like, why am I not walking right now?
It was a little bit weird, but wow.
I mean, that I'm okay with.
No, I know. Listen, I like I said, I didn't hate it. I don't feel. It was just like I was thinking of Better Biev, the stone cold killer in the back, being like, can we hurry this up, guys? What is going on here? And he's incredible. I love watching him fight. Of course,
that whole fight was amazing.
Own. Yeah,
Yard looked fantastic in the early going.
Did you bet on it?
No, I didn't. I just watched it while I was throwing darts. Just throwing darts, watching fights.
Some people like to, do push-ups, do sit-ups, right?
Oh, man.
I
got a perfect view of my TV while I'm throwing them. It's just as good as it gets. Just playing some 501, whatever the proper name for it is, watching some fights.
I've heard there's different games like Around the World and all this. You've heard of these things?
Yeah, there's another one that I can't remember.
There's another one with a funny name too. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Survivor.
Got to get all the all the numbers, cross them off. Lately, I've just been 501, whatever the tournament, the professionals.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not careful, I might be competing at MSG the way I've been going. I mean, hit my first 180.
A celebrity, I don't know if it would
Michael Smith really comes in studio.
This is the plan.
I want to go head to head against them.
You want?
Wow. I mean, he'll embarrass me, but just to say that I did it.
Yeah, that's like shooting a couple free throws with MJ or going 1-on-1 with MJ. God, I can't believe I did so bad. I can't believe I got off the board there.
Well, you got Wednesday to redeem yourself against Mr. Darts himself.
Oh, it was so bad. Yeah. Eddie. We'll see. All right. I think we're good. Was there anything else that we needed to talk about?
So dismissive.
Of what?
Just, you're like, oh, we're just done.
Well, what do you want to hang out? What else you got, Frank?
I mean,
have we not done?
Which I wanted to speak of. You guys are, talking about Royal Rumble. I'm at work. I like it. I pick up a phone. There's 100 text, and then as soon as 11:45, it's just crickets from everybody. And
I was up.
Yeah, I started dozing off. I'm not gonna lie.
Almost felt like sending a message like you up.
No, I mean I was there. Actually, GC disappeared for like 2 hours in the middle of the whole thing, and I was like, oh, I thought you went to bed. I was there.
No. I was, Pete's Saturday night.
I was burning the midnight oil. I was backstage. I was doing all kinds of stuff. And you couldn't even be bothered, Frank. You didn't even watch it. You didn't even turn it on.
I watched it through you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I passed out for a little bit, woke up, and it was like the press conferences. Like Rhea Ripley was like at the press conference. I was like, what is going on? I was like, I have to go to bed, dude. I had to drag my ass off the couch.
That's amazing. That is incredible. Yeah, no, it was a great time, Frank. Thank you for all the recommendations. A couple of people from San Antonio told me that they felt you undersold it. If I'm being honest, I think you oversold it. All right, we're out of time. It has been a great day. You can hit my music, Frankie. Can't wait for Raw tonight. Will Roman Reigns get revenge? We shall see. Elimination Chambers in Montreal, guys, February 12th. I don't know what I'm going to do. Same night as the NBA All-Star Saturday night. A lot going on, guys.
Same night as Perth, no?
Oh, no. No, they're February 18th. Whew. I got my dates mixed up. Wait, is Perth the same night as All-Star Saturday night? No, that can't be.
Perth is February 11th.
Right. All-Star Weekend 2023. Oh, okay, it's the 18th. Okay, so Elimination Chamber is going. I just got the dates wrong. Perth is by itself on February 12th, which is the day before the Super Bowl. And then the next weekend is All-Star Weekend, Saturday, and then Chamber on Saturday as well, and then the game on Sunday. One of my favorite weekends. Everything's all screwed up now because the Super Bowl, I'm used to the Super Bowl being this coming weekend, right? The first weekend of February, and they've screwed it all up with their money-hungry ways. First of all, there should be 2 buys, and second of all, there shouldn't be 7 teams who make the playoffs. But alas, I digress. Great day. Appreciate everyone who stopped by. It was a lovely, lovely day. Thank you so much to Jorge Masvidal. A lot going on in his life. And I'm looking forward to seeing him potentially bounce back. Tough fight. I mean, you got to say this about Jorge Masvidal. He could take an easier fight. He is not. Tough against the blazing hot Gilbert Burns. Good luck to him. Thank you to Tyron Woodley. As always, great to have him. Thank you to Leon Edwards. Can't wait for March 18th. He seems like a new man. It's a beautiful thing. And thank you to Skye Nicolson. Good luck to her on Saturday. Back on Wednesday, same time and place. Until I say peace. I'm out of here.